Greetings, folks, and welcome once again to Channel Otherdoc. I'm Jim, I use he, him pronouns, and this is our April mini-campaign of Monster of the Week, a game of supernatural horror and monster hunting by Michael Sands that's powered by the apocalypse. We have many of us are in uniform tonight with beer. We're going to go around and say hi to everybody, find out who they are and who they're playing. And today, as always, we are going to start with Wally. Hello.
Hello. My name is Wally. Go by he, him. I play Ozzy Tesla, the action scientist robot, who goes by they, him. And I am super excited for this today. Let's see what antics he gets into today.
Excellent. And now let us head over to Autumn. Hello.
Hello. I am Autumn. I go by she, her pronouns, and I play Ori 6, a constructed made of clockwork and potentially other things, who goes by she, they pronouns.
Yes. Good. And now let us go over to Lance. Hello.
Hey, I'm Lance. I'm playing Sullivan Pritchard, the wronged of the group. I use he, him pronouns, and just ready to get into it.
And now we will head over to Gillian. Hello.
Hi, my name is Gillian. I go by she, her pronouns, and I will be playing the initiate, Scarlet Underwood, also going by she, her.
Awesome. And finally, we shall head over to Drew. Hello.
Hi, I'm Drew, he, him, and I will be playing V, who is using pronouns, who's a gumshoe, she, her.
Excellent. Now, before we get going, diving in here, like we do with most games on our channel, we are going to be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we hit something that's crossing a line for one of us, any of us can type an X in the Zoom video chat or anywhere else, or make an X symbol, and we'll go back and we'll do something else. If something happens that we're okay having in the game, but we don't want a graphic description of it, we can type an N in the Zoom chat and we'll fade to black on it, or we'll put it behind a veil, so it'll be there, but we won't go into detail. Finally, if we're exploring a topic or an area of roleplay that's particularly intense for us, but we want to keep going anyway, we can put an O in the chat to let us know we're okay and that we're all good to keep piling on the drama. Something else we can do is put an O with a question mark after it when we're moving into a difficult topic, or if we say or we do something and then think maybe that might have been a little too much, then everyone else can respond to that again with an X, an N, or an O to let us know if we're still doing okay. So, our party has been investigating these dead bodies that have been turning up. One of Lance's old classmates, who now runs a support group, rehabilitation group, sort of was brought this to him. One of Sully's old classmates basically brought it to him, and the odd thing being, there it's like some of them where it's like it get just been showing up dead in different places, and the cops haven't been saying much about it. Possible blood displacement, but they went out to the site of the most recent killing. Death. Yeah, it wouldn't be a killing, would it? It could be a death. The site of the most recent death, and there in the park, found out a couple of things. The mundane thing they found out at the crime scene is that it seemed as though it was from just sort of impact marks, that it was actually that the body had fallen from a great height, even though there was nothing from which to fall in the area. But our initiate Scarlet decided to investigate using magic, looking for portals, and she found one, got sucked right through it, and found herself drifting over this theoretical construct of a dimension called the Dream Continent. Eventually, she managed to use magic to get herself out, but was noticed on the way out and was snatched up by a leprechaun-like being who works at Tim Hortons, and basically was just wanting to find out what was going on because this was very unusual. She made a little deal with him to go ahead and come back and let him know what the result of the investigation is. So it's better to keep the Fae from being underfoot throughout this whole investigation. In the meantime, she placed a call to the others. The others came running. They found, she was there. The others have decided to go their separate ways to investigate a number of different angles on this case. And we're now going to find out more about what is happening. So, who shall I start with today? We ended with Sully realizing that the people that he'd have to talk to were going to be at the Nexus lanes, so that's where he went. One of the places he's not allowed to go by himself, but there he is. We're going to come back to that in a little bit. First, I kind of want to go around and see, let's see where our investigations are taking us. I think I'm going to start with the morgue.
Sure.
And then we will transition into other things. So, V, our gumshoe, has decided to go and hit up the city morgue. It is in basically it's a small town, so it's in the basement of the hospital.
Sure.
What do you want to do?
Well, I do not have morgue as one of my 4 connections, but I do have local police force as one of them. So
you do.
I'm thinking I should probably get a police escort.
Okay.
I think I can talk my way into a police escort at the morgue easier than it would be for me to just go there. I mean, granted, I've probably just shown up there a couple of times before, but since I didn't choose them as one of my go-tos, I think we'll go police first.
All right. So, who is your? What can you tell me about your contact in the police force?
So there's a younger rookie who went to the same high school as me. I think went out to the force and came back, and it was sort of so we're gonna see. His name's Ed Mears, and Ed needed a favor at one point in time. I have been helping his career by helping solve mysteries and then giving him the credit for it.
Ah, nice.
So that he's been really cool about. I mean, he's not incompetent by any stretch of the imagination.
Mm-hmm.
But clearly he cannot go around saying that a minor has been helping him in police work. So I'm going to call in that favor and just see if I can check out the body.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we're going to go with that. All right. So, you're going to contact Ed, and I presume you're going to call him. Or you're going to show up at the police station.
I'm going to text him and just say, meet me at the morgue.
So, as you're heading that way, a minute passes, your phone dings again. You get a text. Mm-hmm. It says, "What's going on?"
I'm just gonna send him an emoji. What is an emoji that cannot be confused for something sexual? Because the first 3 that I was thinking about sending were.
I mean, there's poop.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So shit's real. All right. Cool. Yeah. I'm just gonna send him the poop emoji, and that is a symbol between the two of us that like something needs to get down, and he can send them to me too, and I will know that if he's sending that, then that we have some. It's serious.
Okay. Quick question: do you have a move that you use when you call on your contacts in this way at all?
If they help me out, I get +1 on investigation rolls. So essentially, when it's called the Naked City, I can hit them up for information, which gives me a +1 on investigative mystery rolls, or I can get small favors from them, which seems more of a favor roll, but there may be a small cost involved. Personal contact can provide more significant help, but the keeper decides the price on a case-to-case basis.
Gotcha. Okay. Just want to make sure that but there's no role specifically listed there, correct? It's just basically
Nope.
You have a contact who does the thing. Okay, gotcha.
I can use a charm person if there's a difficulty in order to do that.
Well, yeah, no, it's not going to be not to get Ed, but it's I just wanted to get this sort of in my head what we're looking at here.
Sure.
Okay. So. You are heading to the morgue, and you get to the hospital, and Ed is sort of standing. It's got its own sort of side entrance that basically that gets you just down directly into the morgue. He's standing up there. So he's sort of looking. He says, "What? Okay, can you tell me what the deal is here? Because, they don't like to just show people dead bodies. You know, that's not something that they kind of enjoy doing. We had a kind of problem with that actually a few years back, but we had to crunch down on it. So
yeah. Sorry about that.
Bribe
that was,
someone to get in to
that was my
see
bad.
a body. Yeah.
We can go with. She pulls out a notebook. We can go one of the 3 things that we've just gone with in the past. I can pass myself off as journalist, and say this is something that's going out. We know this is going out to the news this evening, isn't it? I mean, this is a police event investigation. We're just going to get the jump on the story. We might be able to pull that off. I could be part of. I could have been a witness, and you was needed for identification, so we can do that for police. I was in the park. Let's say I was in the park skateboarding, and I may or may not have seen an individual that matched this person's description. You're bringing in there to help with the further of the investigation. Then we could do something crazy like reality television show.
Okay, look, I mean, I'm happy to just go in and say that we're, that it's, that you were around. That's probably going to be the easiest thing. You were in the park earlier and you noticed something. We can kind of see maybe if you know the victim. Something like that.
Yeah, that does seem like the most plausible, but, I could, make your life interesting, I suppose. Most plausible,
Your brand of interesting is not always what we kind of seek out in the basic PD. But yeah, no, we can do that. But do you have an idea of what's going on? Is there something bigger going on here?
Right now, we're just doing a preliminary. And you know me, I'd come clean if I knew something more. But this may or may not have a connection to somebody close to me, and I don't want to drag them into it.
Okay, I see.
If without the information that I need first.
Okay, well, is this person close to you in trouble?
Is it too weird to say? It's too soon to tell?
Damn. Okay. All right. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll go on down and we'll see kind of if this can help you out. But look, it sounds kind of like if this is getting too much, if it's getting to a thing where this is something you're too close to, will you let me know if, so I can bring in some kind of backup for you, something?
Ed, we've known each other for a couple of years. Have you ever known me to get in over my head?
Constantly.
Yeah.
I figured it was worth asking. Dear God, I mean, is this something that's okay? All right. You know what? No, it's your life. Okay. Let's do the thing. And he turns and he starts heading down into the morgue.
I think just because the Gumshoes playbook has so many moves that are charm based, I think V's thing is she is fine and very charming when it comes to people, like moving forward investigations, and it comes to any kind of personal relationship. She is just awkward as all get out.
Yep.
I think she's a consummate professional as far as there's a mystery, except for the mystery of her own heart.
Yep. No. That's all too familiar, I thought. So
It's just way too familiar. You got
humanity.
That stuff is super real right there. That is real.
It's much reality. So we'll take you down. Of course, it gets a little colder, and you have the green hallways with the green brick walls, and he goes and he knocks on the door, and the mortician shows up, or I say mortician. It's actually they're not called morticians. The morgue attendant appears. She is, she looks like she's in her late 20s. She opens the door. This actually, I mean, again, small town. This is Anna Lake.
Okay.
And she looks at the two of you. She sort of squints, and she looks up. And she looks up at Ed, and she's like, "Please tell me that this is relevant to what's been. It's relevant. It's fine. It's fine, Anna. V actually might know the victim, and so we want her to go ahead and make exception, bring her in so she can just take a look and see if there's anything kind of relevant that she can help us out with our inquiries." And she sort of cocks her head. We already had everything identified. Is there? And he says, "It's. I think it'll help. I think it'll help." She just raises her hand. Okay, fine. But she will kind of back up going in, and she says, "You need me?" And he says, "Yeah, we may need to ask you a couple questions just while we're here." I fail to see how this is going to. It's okay. Come on. And the two of you go in, into the office, and the body is wheeled out, or drawn out of its drawer. The body of Julius Andre. Right now, it's covered with a sheet, and she says, "Do you need? Does she have to see the body? It's not." And he just sort of looks. Ed just sort of looks down at you questioningly.
I mean, if you want me to tell you whether or not I saw him at the park this morning, then yeah, I can't identify him just by his outline.
She shudders and she goes in. She will lift the sheet, and you see there is the body of a person who is is expired, basically. This is a guy. Looks like he's in his late 30s, early late 30s. What? How old is Sully? Remind me. 20s.
28.
28. Late 20s. This guy is in his late 20s. And does not look well at all.
I mean, can we identify him as a human body? Did the impact disfigure him at all? I mean, I think
a little bit.
Yeah. So it does look like. I mean,
It looks like it was. Yeah.
Yeah. I just want to
Would you like to investigate a mystery or something?
I would love
those
to
lines?
investigate a mystery. And I'm just trying to think of how she goes about doing it. And she's like, I don't know. I mean, it's just his face. Could I mean, it looks like it could be him. She could turn to Dr. Lake. Do you mind if I just get a closer look so I could be sure? I would hate to give anybody, wrong information. I'm just trying to be a good citizen.
Okay. Yeah, if you need to, but
She's resisting her urge to just pull out her cell phone and taking pictures. But I think I'm going to investigate and see if there's anything concrete about the body and that would just link him to anything else we know.
Yeah, and actually, as the scene goes on, we can work it into also the role playing stuff, as the
Sure.
and all that.
All right,
Roll that dice. Roll that dice.
that's horrible.
No.
You know what?
That's experience.
No,
XP.
it's not going to be XP because I'm going to use a luck point.
Ah, yes. That's the thing I need to remind folks about, just for those of you who, because I realized we didn't use any last time. We do have, you all have luck, a certain amount of luck on your sheet. And you can use it after you roll. You can change the result to 12.
I want to... Yeah, go ahead.
Please keep track of how much luck you have spent, because after a certain point, if you spend all your luck, then the doom is upon you, and I can use as many hard moves on you as I want.
Do you just have to do you have to mark luck? Like, if you haven't used luck, does your luck chart have to be empty if you haven't used it, or do you have to have one of the left?
So let me open the thing here.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just wondering if you're because there's
you've got, it goes from okay to doomed, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So you would check the first box, and then the second box, and then the third box.
Okay, so if I haven't used any luck, I can just leave it.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we only rolled 3 times in the entire session last week, so
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't use it that much, so.
So yeah,
But
basically.
I'm already sensing a pattern in the under 6s there, because even with a bonus to sharp, I'm still going to be.
Yeah. So basically, just check off a box, and when you check off the last box, that's when you hit doom, and
Then that's
Wait, how much do you have for sharp?
I got +2 for sharp.
So that would be a 6, but okay, never mind.
It's still a failure.
Yeah, it's still a failure. Just wanted to.
If Mears had given me +1 to investigate a mystery rather than a small favor, then it would have been a 7, and but none of the rest of you were there, so there's no way to help me bump it up. So I would rather move the story along with a really resounding. I would like the detective to be able to.
Yeah,
so
great.
I'm investigating a mystery.
So you get 2 questions.
2 questions.
Oh, right, because I don't have advanced yet. All right, so I want to know what happened here.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened and what's being concealed.
Okay.
Because right now, we don't know that there's a creature. We don't know there's a monster of the week. So I think the other ones don't necessarily apply to this scenario.
Sure. So, as you're sort of talking and sort of figuring out, sort of what happened, this guy fell from a height of think terminal velocity is like what, around 60 feet, something like that is when you hit that, if I remember right.
It's been a while since I've attempted terminal velocity.
Yeah, well, it's
I didn't have a speedometer on me.
There's a first time for every. It's
I wouldn't even be able to read it in Canada anyway.
It's like riding a bicycle. It's
like falling off a bike.
Well, yeah, basically from a very great height. This guy was about something like. This guy was like, at least like, he achieved terminal velocity, so he was at least high up enough for that. This person fell from a great height.
Put the terminal in terminal velocity. Gotcha.
That's right. As you're sort of going over, and he's Ed asks for the for the autopsy report, if it's come in yet, and it seemed that from what they'd heard basically of reports earlier, just from this guy, about things connected to other cases, sort of is kind of you pick up from the language that they use when they're talking about the autopsy report that this has happened before. Mm-hmm. It happened like 2 other times, and they're apparently like just appearing in thin air and plunging to the ground.
Right.
The thing that's being concealed, though, when she starts talking about the autopsy report, is they're still apparently trying to identify. There is something in the system of all 3 of the victims. It is, they think, some kind of drug, but it has an element. Let's see here. Hang on just a second. Just a moment.
Nope, got it.
Okay, were we back? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I think the bandwidth, I have to close down Roll20 in order to get it to do it, so.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, but no, basically it's there's something in the system of each of the victims. They feel like it's like they don't know if it's a drug exactly. It's something that had basically something that seems to be acting, they think, like some kind of a crazy upper. And sort of messed with their adrenaline to an extent, and they haven't identified all of the elements in it. There's something that's like, you're not sure exactly. It's like it's like some kind of they're like it's something very close to some kind of red meat.
In the blood?
It's yeah. It's it's not like chunks of it, obviously, but it's like I guess the best way to describe it would be powdered.
Okay. So it's like a protein powder within the actual blood.
Yeah.
See, I'm no bloodologist, but that just seems wrong.
What is the proper word for a bloodologist?
A hematologist?
Hematologist.
No idea.
Hematologist.
I've never heard the word hematologist in my life.
Vampirologist. That's the term.
I'm Dr. Blood Doctor.
Once upon a time, in another lifetime, not too long ago, I played in a long-running live-action game. I played a vampire hematologist. It was a thing. Anyway,
it's a lovely vintage.
It is. But yeah, so it's like there was this victim and the others. They think we're high on something. Mm-hmm. When they fell from the sky.
Gotcha.
They're just not sure what it was or how it, entirely. It's something very strange.
V wants to know if we can find out what the individual was wearing when they found him? Because I'm going to assume the body is not clothed.
The body is not clothed.
Yeah, it's just like I can't tell if I can identify him or not. Can I at least know what he was wearing? I think I would be able to remember that better.
Sure. And you know they and so yeah, I mean basically just shirt, sweater, trousers.
Assuming it was plaid.
It was plaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He's wearing a flannel
feel like,
shirt.
Yeah. Where's flannel? I hate to feel like I was wasting everyone's time, but I can't be certain. I mean, the person I saw definitely didn't look as messed up as this person did. I mean, I want to say that this is the guy. I saw him in the park earlier, but I don't want to lead you down the I'm sorry. And she pretends to be really apologetic and flustered, but if she can't learn anything else from this, it's time to move on to the next stage.
Yeah, that's basically what you're finding out is that that's pretty much they're all they were all on something.
One last thing, and I may have missed this when the audio cut out.
And then your audio cut out immediately as soon as you said that, which I find slightly hilarious. But so we can't hear you. Can you hear us?
No.
I asked a question, it went silent, and then I heard no, so I didn't hear any of that.
Yeah, your audio cut out as well, so I didn't hear what you were asking.
Oh, sorry. Do we know how whatever this is got into their system? Is there a puncture wound? Is it taken orally?
Yeah, it looks like it was
large scorpion stabbing wound in the back.
Yeah, it was the scorpion. Yeah, it was the scorpion. That's
so
how they
like
do it.
maybe some puncture wounds on the neck that have tie-dye around them.
They think it was administered using. I'm trying to think of the actual term for it because right now the only term I can think of is the term out of Star Trek, but we actually have them now. In Star Trek, they referred to it as hyposprays, but I can't remember what. We have them now.
Oh.
It's
Gotcha.
like the sort of more the nicer syringes that don't puncture you, but that you still absorb. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I would like a nice syringe that doesn't puncture me. That sounds cool. Patch?
Like a patch kind of thing?
A gravy patch. Yeah.
I am truly lost.
Jet injector.
A jet injector? Okay.
I've never heard of. This is a new one to me.
No, it exists.
Yeah.
I swear. It's actually it's been developed within the last I want to say 20 years.
Then why have I never heard of it?
A jet injector is known as a jet gun injector. Air gun or pneumatic injector is a medical instrument that uses a high-pressure jet of liquid medication to penetrate the skin and deliver medication under the skin without a needle.
Does it make like a sound that's like? Pfft?
It does. It makes sort of a sort of sound.
Now that I look at
Like
the
a
picture of
disgusted
it,
teenager.
now I've seen it. Now I know what you're talking about. Looking at the picture of it, now I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Quick, everyone to the internet.
Why don't they ever like? The internet.
For anyone wondering what it is that we're talking about,
Oh.
apparently we've had them since the 1970s.
Yeah, like when you look it up, you're like, oh, those things. That's what they're called.
Okay.
Okay.
They think that's probably what it was. This is. I mean, it's not just going to be a needle. This is basic. This is basic. This is where the science is.
Right. Yeah. Next, they're going to develop a injection via hammer. Just simply.
It's basically like tap. Okay, you're done.
Here's your anesthesiologist.
So, so yes, it looks like they probably used.
Injection. Like I'm just imagining it's like someone just like going up for their like getting like a vaccine for something, and they're like, okay, this is gonna only take a second.
Yeah.
All right, you're good to go.
And apparently there actually is a brand of jet injector that is called iHypo Spray, which is where they got it from for sci-fi, apparently. Or maybe it would inspired it. I don't know. Anyway, that's what they think it was.
Right.
All right. Well, we're done here. So, Scotty, to beam up.
Excellent. Okay, so let's...
Hey guys.
So, speaking of science fiction, let's transition over to the robots.
Beep, bop, boop, and robot.
Is our,
Basic, where the robots are the least scientific aspect of this.
just out of curiosity, is our radioactive cat named Spot like going along with this
I
trend?
thought you were going with Schrodinger.
No, they have a cat.
No, they have
named
two
Schrodinger.
cats. They have my notes say you have Marie and you have Schrodinger.
Right.
Yeah.
For Marie Curie and then Schrodinger.
Yeah.
Yeah, Schrodinger. They have a cat named Schrodinger, but you have
We
to.
might have a cat.
You
named
might
Schrodinger.
have a cat named Schrodinger.
Yeah, that's the
and
problem.
It's pretty much. Ozzy just said it like that. He says like, you know what? I think we may have a cat named Schrodinger, and then he just left it like that.
I like the idea that everyone who comes to the...
I think Scarlett's actually see it, but no one else has, and no
Well,
one else believes her.
I like the idea that people who come to the house to visit can see the cat, but that you folks can't. Like, you have this cat, but you've never actually seen it.
I was just gonna be like saying like Scarlett's the only one who's seen Schrodinger, and this like goes on about this like, and they're just like, what are you talking about? This? We haven't seen.
We can
them,
say...
like-
We can say that, certainly. That Scarlett seems unerringly able to see Schrodinger. But very few others seem to be able to. So yes, I presume that, were the two of you sticking together, or were you going and doing different things? I know you were looking for, going to try to find some Teslite.
Yeah, I think that's where we're gonna stick together to find the Teslaite.
Coordinated search effort.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I think pretty much we just head to the mansion, because like the mansion probably has like one of those basements that hasn't been totally explored.
Oh, one of those basements, eh?
Yeah. And it's even worse because it's this mansion. So he heads down to the basement. Well, before he goes to the basement, he puts on his action science clothes.
Yeah.
Which is basically like cargo pants, a tank top, boots, and he makes his way down to the basement.
Ori
Okay.
is definitely still dressed like Dean Winchester, and but before they go down to the basement, because she knows it's not completely fully explored, and after the slime monsters, she's going to grab her sword and her revolver, because they never know what they're going to find in Teslagrad Manor.
Mm-hmm. It's truly a magical, mysterious place.
I almost want to make you read a bad situation every time you go into the basement, but...
Can I read a bad situation as soon as I go to the basement?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll for the sharp, please.
Can I help him?
Yes, you certainly may.
I will help out.
I think we're
Okay, read a bad situation. What do I roll for that? I roll
sharp.
Sharp? Oh, that's
Yeah.
my good stat. That's where I'm a Viking.
Will the world's finally be on our side this time?
Whew.
Hey, that's somewhat.
That's a 9.
That's-
So yeah,
that's a partial
Ori,
success.
if you want to help out, you could bump it up to a 10. Ori
Nice.
is not going to be bumping it up to a 10, but does
No.
get XP. Yeah. So
You get to just hold one, which is a good question. Just
So let's see. There is a. Let me see
at least
here.
it's one of those where you don't get a consequence; you just get less questions.
Well, the funny part about this is that in the book itself, they list more consequences for certain things. It's delightful.
Oh no!
It's wonderful. And I
Oh
have to
no,
scroll
that's not
to it.
wonderful. That sounds horrifying.
It's the horrifying part is having to scroll to it and find it. There it is. No, those are the caper moves, basic hunter moves. That's what we're looking for. Help out. On the miss, the help does no good, and the helper exposes themselves to trouble or danger. This could be the same as the danger of the move being helped, or something else entirely. Okay.
So,
Yes.
I definitely read a bad situation. As soon as I go into the basement, I just do read a bad situation.
Okay. And you get 1 hold. And do you know what question you want to ask?
What are my questions again for read a bad situation?
What's my best way in? What's my best way out? Are there any dangers we haven't noticed? What's the biggest threat? What's most vulnerable to me? And what's the best way to protect the victims?
I am definitely going to ask, what is the biggest threat that I haven't noticed?
Okay. The biggest threat that you haven't noticed, I would say, yeah. Right now, in the area you are, you sort of I'm going to answer this question in a moment, so that you'll sort of figure it out as this is happening. I feel as though Ori kind of scouts ahead a little bit and is kind of looking around in an effort to assist. When you realize, Ori, you sort of go around a big heap of what looks like sort of discarded Jacob's ladder parts.
Right.
And
of course, that's what we have done there.
Jacob's ladders, Tesla coils, and all manner of things like that. You realize you hear a kind of a squish, and then you realize you're having trouble moving your right foot.
Uh-oh.
And you look down and you see that there is this sort of bit of stuff sort of congealing up. It's small. It's about like this. And it's slightly transparent. And it's rolling sort of back and forth over your foot. And you kind of hear this kind of coming from it. Ozzy, you have noted that you're going to get +1 forward on acting on this. And that is that the biggest threat is that you realize as you see kind of a couple of slime trails that it seems as though it looks as though possibly a piece of the slime monster is still down here. Has made its way down here. It's not a big piece, but it could be. You're not sure how dangerous it is, but because it can't be very much of it. But there's that.
Huh. Ori, don't move your foot.
Affirmative. What is?
Well, that is, I believe that is a remnant of the monster from this morning.
Do we trap it or destroy it?
Let's study it.
And then sort of starts sliding back.
I wouldn't want to ignore a chance to study it. I didn't get a chance to study the previous one. However, keeping something down here may lead to bigger problems. I suppose we can destroy it for now.
It darts out between your legs and is now trying desperately to get across the room.
He pulls out from a pouch on his pants a laser pistol and points it and fires it at the little orb trying to roll away.
Okay.
Perfect!
Please kick some ass.
And because I have 2 fisted signs, I get to add my sharp instead of my tough to my roll.
Excellent.
And I have +1 going forward for this Nexus since I'm acting upon this thing, right?
Yes, that's right. So you get a +1 to this.
Nice.
Yeah.
To this next roll against it. So it's in addition to whatever you have.
Come on, rolls. I'm so
Okay.
six.
Yep.
9. I mean, it's a good number.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so you get to. You and whatever you're fighting inflict harm on each other. The amount of harm is based on the established dangers in the game. That usually means you inflict harm the rating of your weapon. Your enemy inflicts their attack's harm rating on you.
Yeah, I think that's definitely up to.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So unless you whatever you find. Inflict harm on each other. Okay, here we go.
Okay, that was really quick.
How much?
Your
How much
decision.
harm do you? How much harm does your weapon do?
My laser pistol. Oh, I better look that up real quick. Hold on. Had it down. Let's see.
Wait, why is it +1 and not +2 on the roll?
I added 1 going forward.
But aren't you using sharp, not tough?
Yeah, I did. Didn't I use sharp? Oh no, I clicked the
No,
wrong
you
thing.
roll
I
with
think.
tough.
Oh, I rolled the wrong thing. Okay, let me roll that again then.
Roll.
I'm sorry.
I mean, we can.
We can
I mean,
just
can
add
we-
the other one.
Yeah, can I just add the other one then?
Yeah, we can just add the
Then
other
it's a-
one.
then
No,
it's
it's a
10 then.
success!
And so it's a
full
10.
success then, yeah.
Okay.
So you get to choose one extra effect.
So my laser cannon does 2 harm.
And you get to choose one extra effect. So you can
Okay.
choose. You gain the advantage to take +1 forward, or give +1 forward to another hunter. You inflict terrible harm, so +1 harm. You suffer less harm, -1 harm. Or you force them where you want them.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to definitely take +1 harm and +1. I'm gonna give it the harm, and then I'm gonna give +1 forward and give it to Ori, because I want my precious daughter to perform science against this thing. And after I zap it, I go, Ori, remember, you either destroy it or study it. I really hope you study it.
How much harm does your how much harm does your gun do?
2.
Okay. So you do that, and it's like, and you see that there's a hole in it now. It's trying to sort of it's having trouble keeping together. But this is as it sort of has flung itself across the room in your direction, and some of it splatters on you, and you hear it just sort of coming off of it, and you are also going to take 1 harm minus any armor you might have.
Oh, I do not have any armor, I believe.
Oh no!
I take -1 harm.
Yeah. So this thing is like it's trying desperately. It's going back and forth trying to find a way out.
And I
Junkie!
definitely give the +1 going forward to Ori.
Yep.
In case she wants to do something.
Yeah. So
But
Mhm.
also I get to choose a second effect since I did a full.
well, no, that was the extra effect. You gain.
Oh,
the
okay,
advantage,
yeah.
Right. Take +1
Okay.
forward or give +1 forward to another hunter, which you
Okay, yeah, I just give it
So-
to. I definitely give it to. I give it the
Ori.
+1 forward to Ori.
Okay.
And
So
I'm like, Ori, either you capture it or kill it. Please capture it. I want you to do science because I want you to develop your
Ori, what would you like to do?
Is there anything around me that I could use to trap it?
There are so many things. Depends on what you want to do. Do you want to create a Faraday cage, or do you want to, or do you want to just do something simple like grab a bowl and throw it down?
I was thinking the mundane. Find something like, I don't know, like a large like bucket or a beaker or something to
Oh yeah,
shove over
there's
top of
yeah
it.
there's a bucket.
Okay, I would like to grab the bucket and try to trap the thing underneath, the slime underneath the bucket.
Okay, and I presume you're not trying to hurt the thing.
I'm
Per se.
trying to avoid hurting it, yes.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to ask you to I'm going to ask you to act under pressure.
Okay.
And you get +1.
Yeah, and you're going to get +1 from...
Perfect.
Yeah.
No.
Come on, rules, be with us today. Pray to the Ice Gods.
Ooh.
Hey!
All right. So that means that I'm going to give you a worse outcome, a hard choice, or a price to pay. So you think you're going to be able to... The logistics of this is that a little of it is going to splash on you when you set it down. You realize just before you do it. So the question is, do you do it?
Yeah, I'm still going to do it.
Okay, please take 1 harm. As it comes in, it's like as it's sort of trying to eat through you, and minus any armor that you have, obviously. But you've got it now under the bucket.
Okay, I'm just going to turn back to Ozzy and be like, what is the next procedure? It is contained.
I wasn't expecting such a simplistic way to contain it, but a way to contain it is a way to contain it. I am so proud of you, daughter. he just looks super proud of her because she did that. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
Her
The other
eyes glow
interesting
a little
thing
bit
that-
brighter.
That's awesome. The other thing, by the way, that you notice is that as you're grabbing the bucket and dumping its contents out real quick, is that the bucket contained some Teslite ore.
I look over at the ore. I look at the bucket. I look at Ori. I'm like, Ori, you found the Teslite we were looking for.
Oh. Mission accomplished in that case.
Yes, indeed. Ori, do you realize what you did today?
I feel like I trapped the remnants of a slime monster you summoned.
Indeed. You have, 1, trapped the remnants of a slime monster I have summoned. You have fixed your father's problem. 2, you have provided me more research to do during the day because, honestly, after this, I didn't have much going on for myself. I was going to listen to some music and read, but you gave me something to do. That's 2 things. And 3, you found the thing we were looking for. He holds up the ore.
You're just there like, and it is barely even lunchtime. What am I going to do with the rest of my day?
Oh, I don't know. What do teenagers do with the rest of their days? What do teenagers do? I don't know. You can do one of those TikToks. Is that what they call them?
Oh my god.
Like the sound that my mechanisms make.
I think so, yes.
Do I not just do that all the time then?
Oh, I suppose so. I suppose you already are doing a TikTok. Oh, are we partaking in a TikTok right now? I guess we
Oh
are.
my god.
The ultimate and eternal TikTok.
Wonderful. Well, let's take this ore and take it to the lab so we can get to work. Oh, and make sure we close the door because I don't want Marie to get down here.
Good idea.
All right. So you take your ore and your pet slime monster to the lab.
I'm going to name the pet slime monster Spot.
There we go.
Yay, we have the spot now. Congratulations.
So you find a
You'll always
nice little
have a place
habitat.
in your heart because it burned a hole there.
Now, as a reminder, this is I believe taking place in the evening, in the early evening, because this was
Yes. Yes, this
where
is
we
after
were.
school.
This is the after school
All
special.
before dinner. In that case.
But oh my god. Let's see. Yes, because we enjoy saving the most dramatic confrontation for last. I'm going to go to Scarlet next.
Yay! My turn. Okay. So, I would probably, the first step she would do, if she's trying to figure out what the artifact that was stolen does, and why someone would want 2 boxes of griffin liver is to research. So she's gonna go to a library, to one of the libraries that have a very quote unquote secret sector that has all the books for her sect, and she's gonna try and find some books on the on this sextant or anything on griffin liver to see like what she's dealing with.
Okay. So I feel as though, unless you have a, do you have a move specifically pointed at research? If not, then
it's just like one of the, I don't think it's a move, but I know like my sect, for their good traditions, they have ancient and magical lore, if that helps. I don't.
Well, it means that you're gonna have access to certain things, to information.
Yeah, I don't really have any moves that relate to.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and have you do investigate a mystery then.
All right.
And we're gonna bend the we can bend the questions in whatever direction we need to.
You can bend the questions, investigate a mystery.
So you're gonna roll plus sharp.
Yeah, roll plus sharp. Got it.
Excellent.
I'm gonna spend a luck point.
Okay, yes, you go ahead and spend a luck point. Congratulations, that's a 12. So you get to hold 2, and you get 2 of those questions.
All right. So I think 2 really good questions for this is first one would definitely be, what can it do? And the second one I think would be choosing. I'm gonna say, what is being concealed here?
Okay. So I'm going to need us to move a little more specific on these real quick, just so that we know. So when you ask what can it do, are you asking about
the sextant?
The sextant specifically. Okay.
And then for the griffin livers, it would be, what is being concealed here about its properties?
Okay. The sextant, as you do your research, you read into the books in your occult library, and as you're looking through, the sextant is apparently had the ability unerringly to it was a device used in, so there's a certain type of magic that involves the positioning of the stars, and it's not exactly astrology, it's not exactly astronomy. It uses elements of both, but it basically it's the idea being that you would use it to orient yourself along a plane, and by plane I mean along a universal plane, to see to basically see where and how far away something is. It allows you to basically aim magical energies, if need be, that you can either at or from different conjunctions, constellations, things of that nature. Makes it basically easier. Say, like, if you're doing a ritual and you need the stars to be right, and the stars are right, and you have the sextant, you can confirm that the stars are right, and then make the ritual even that much more, even that much better, because you're getting sort of a channel of kind of,
so it makes the strength of the
sympathetic energy
more
from the fact that, yeah, exactly. You make it more potent. It helps to it helps almost like to basically, you found a power source that you're looking for this ritual, and that is this conjunction, that kind of deal.
Power source, interesting.
It's sort of a neat way of using a power source, of getting a power source without a power source, because you're really sort of cheating and using the movement of the lines of force of magic in the universe to just sort of follow the currents And the currents you can receive from the stars can be quite powerful if you're in the exactly the right position. So that's what the sextant does. It assists with rituals of that kind. Requires very precise usage. Otherwise, could be very freaking dangerous if it's not used precisely in the manner in which it is supposed to be used. Yes.
Okay.
So, what is being concealed about the griffin liver? Here's the thing about the griffin liver that you find out that is being concealed about it, because academics do not like to talk about this. It gets you high.
Oh!
In more ways than one.
So you mean like, whoop, pew!
It also actually has, because the thing about griffins being sort of the bygone creatures, a lot of them fled to another reality, basically, some time ago. Most of them. So there's kind of a connection there that griffin liver has. So it's kind of unstable in that property as well. So it's a question of if you take enough of it, you can go flying through space and time.
Interesting. Okay. That does seem connected, because guy did fall from the sky, go splat. Just like, he probably consumed some griffin liver. That would make sense. What does it have to do with a mobile power source?
These are good questions.
These are very good questions. I just think about this like, as I'm just like looking at this and just like thinking this thing, like, I just think about V for a second, being like, I wonder if she's finished at the mort with her stuff. Maybe we can trade information.
Maybe.
That would be a good next step.
That would be.
So, yes. So she'll leave the library. She's gonna go over to her phone, and she's gonna text V and ask her if she's finished with her stuff yet, and if she is, if we can meet up.
So V, you're gonna get that text.
All right. Yeah, I assume I'm not in the morgue with the dead body when I get it.
Yes. You've left the morgue.
All right. Hey, Scarlet, where do we hang out that isn't the bar?
The Nexus bowling alley.
I mean, is that going to be like they get good fries there too? All right, yeah.
Yeah, let's go to the Nexus bowling alley.
Seems like that would be convenient for the narrative.
Why not? Why not, indeed? So, speaking of the Nexus bowling alley, let us
meet you at the Nexus.
Let's venture to the
emoji
Nexus
for that too.
Let us venture to the Nexus now.
Ricky face are like the cool looking one with the sunglasses.
I wonder what's happening at the Nexus at this very moment. Let's find out. So we head across. So Sully, you have pulled into the into Nexus lanes. You see there the big flat building, bowling pin, big neon bowling pins on the outside.
So have you ever seen the movie The Bad News Bears?
It's like a Nexus.
And remember the opening scene in The Bad News Bears with Walter Matthau's in the car where he opens up the beer and he drinks it, and then he opens up the scotch and he drinks that? I think that's what Sully does right before going into the Nexus. He like pulls up into the parking lot, opens a glove compartment, drinks a beer, reaches under the seat, pulls out a whiskey, drinks that, and he's like,
not if he's on the job.
Well, let's see.
Let's establish that he does not do that when he is on the job.
So yeah, so Sully, what's happening? What are you doing?
Sully's gonna sit outside in the car, wonder for a moment if he really needs to do this. He looks at his gun. He considers taking it. Then he sighs, puts his keys away, opens the door, gonna approach the building. Ah, damn it.
All right. As you head in, you hear disco music playing.
Jesus. Everything's a time capsule in this town.
It is.
From our favorite robot Ozzy with the "You spin me right round, baby," to
Yeah.
the ever so still 70s music. Staying alive, staying alive.
Yeah.
Ah,
They can tell by the way that you walk that you are a businessman. When you enter the Nexus lanes. See, there's bits, flashing neon. There's sort of got a very nice brick facade. And you have basically folks, the guy who hands out shoes. You've got a bar that's basically there, and where the owner hangs out. And have all manner of people bowling, essentially, to this music. And so I'm wondering, is there a particular direction you want to go in first?
I'm gonna look straight for the owner.
Okay. You look around, and the owner is there behind the bar, serving some drinks. The owner is. How well do you know the owner?
Probably well, since I cannot be here alone, so we've most likely had some words before.
Okay, so the owner this is an older guy. He's got kind of closely cropped gray hair. And he wears a pair of glasses with one, with the kind of is like one of the eyes blacked out. His name is Odin Jensen. As you come into view, he's going to turn. He's going to look up. He's wearing a bowling shirt, and so he's sort of he looks over. And also, as far as you're aware, you know him pretty well. You know that this man is also a wizard. He has spellcasting ability. He is not a member of any cult. He is independent. But he looks. Oh my God!
Odin.
And so Odin looks up. He says, "Sully, hey, where are your handlers?"
You're a funny guy, Odin. You're funny. That's why I like you, pal. That's why I like you. No, it's just me today.
Okay, well, you gonna behave yourself?
When do I not behave myself, Odin? Come on.
And I believe the last time they put that poster up, and he sort of points, and you see that poster of you. This person is seen unattended.
So dramatic. That's in the past. Let's talk about the present. Come on.
All right. No, what do you want?
You got a winning smile.
What do you want to? Do you want a drink? What do you want?
None of that. I need information, Odin.
I see. Okay. It's like that, is it? We gotta be no. You know I can't get involved in anything. You know that, right?
Trust me, Odin. Involving you, past information is very much the last thing on my mind.
Okay. Christ, you remember what happened last time? There's a brief flashback in which lots of things are blowing up.
There were. Oh.
Okay. What are you looking for here?
Hey, you heard about those bodies in the park, right? I'm sorry, that body in the park.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Real strange how they looked, huh? It's like they fell from up high. Drained the blood. Any special sorts come through in the past few days?
All right, I'm going to ask you to manipulate someone. So you're going to be rolling plus charm. This is where you're going to be using for another hunter list, I think. Well, no, I'm sorry. We're not going to use for another hunter list because those are only PCs. We're going to use for a normal person. Because Odin is nothing if not the scion of normality. Yeah, so you can be rolling plus charm.
But is he though? Is he?
Oh boy.
He's the most
Really?
normal.
Plus...
He's not a charmer. We all know that about Sully. Oh boy, let's see.
What do you mean? No matter how many times you tell Sully that, he's just got a winning smile.
Exactly.
Let's see how the rolls say.
I don't have anything to add to this, so that didn't go through? Okay.
I see nothing. There it is. Nothing. Okay.
The first one
was 12.
Look at the first one.
Oh, 12. There you go.
I told you.
Yay!
Very cool. You do have a winning smile. Okay.
On the
So
smile.
on a 10 plus, they'll do it for the reason you asked too much. They'll tell you the minimum. Okay. So yeah, basically he will help you out here, so basically you're wanting information about the yeah. Well, let me ask. So what is it you're asking him?
Sully just wants to know if there's been any new supernatural creatures or persons related to supernatural that came through.
Okay.
Maybe that seemed suspicious or drew attention in some way.
Yeah. There's there are a few. Yeah, there've been there's been like a new guy, just sort of drifted into town not too long ago. He's one of he's a fairy court guy. I got a kind of a bad vibe off him. He was very mercenary. I think he was trying to push something on folks out around here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. You got a name?
He's kind of a pusher, yeah. He says, he called himself. Jim has to hit the right tab on his Excel sheet so he can get the thing. Yeah. Called himself Malachi.
Malachi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he goes by the name Malachi Red, I think. Yeah,
Malachi Red.
Yeah. I know. I think he was talking to some of those guys over there, and he says, "And you see the demon bowling team? They don't have their horns out or anything, but you know that they're demons."
He's telling me one of them is
Those guys.
Yeah, he was talking to them over there for a while, until I sort of figured out kind of what I think he was about and told him to get out. He's, you don't peddle that kind of stuff in here. Whatever it is, whatever it is, he was peddling. I didn't even wait long enough to find out what he was peddling, but I don't tolerate that.
Yeah, I hear you. Has he come back since? Any idea where he might be?
I couldn't say there. He lit out. He lit out as soon as I set my as soon as I set the air on fire around him.
Nice trick. Really worked out last time as well.
Yeah.
Totally did not go horribly wrong for both you and me.
No, absolutely not. But I don't know. Some of those guys might know a little more, but you want to be kind of careful because I know you. If you're going to question those guys, be civil.
I am the very symbol of caution. Come on.
Yeah, maybe.
Come on, Odin.
Maybe you. Yeah, maybe I can see you having the symbol of caution being put on you, but all I'm just saying is, no one fights in here, okay?
All right. Hey, quick question. How strict are you about guns in here? Come on, I gotcha. Sully's not joking. Sully's absolutely not joking.
Well, we're still going with your roll of 12 for charm, so he'll be like, He says, I don't have a. He says, right now, I'm asking people not to pull them and not to, right now, carrying, okay. Carrying concealed, okay. You pull them out, that's it.
Fair enough. I don't even have a piece on me right now. See, I truly come in peace. And he lifts up his hoodie, and there's nothing on him.
Nothing right there. Okay. All right. Well, just be careful. That's all I
gotta go talk.
There aren't a lot of good ones left. You're one of the few.
Yeah, Odin. Sorry about the hard time, but I'm not really good in these supernatural settings.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah. All right, let me go talk to the fucking demon bowling team.
Yeah. So you're going to.
So Jim, are one of the demons played by John Turturro?
Yes. One of the demons is played by John Turturro. How did you know? That's weird. That's funny that you guessed that. That's amazing.
Here we go.
But as you kind of you're kind of heading over, I think. Yeah, no, we're gonna keep going. So you head over. And you look over and you see this guy. He's very, very tall. His hair is slicked back. And he holds up this ball that he's about to reel, and he does this strange thing to it. You see briefly this forked tongue lick out and go over the side of the ball, as he just sort of very artistically hurls back and does this beautiful dance up to the line and throws the ball down the lane. You see he gets a strike. He's like, yeah! And this is Orishag, whom you might have gotten possibly into some tussles with before a little bit. And he sort of turns and he looks at you, and he says, "Oh, what do you?" And he's everyone. He gets high fives, and he sort of turns and he looks. He's like, "Oh, what have we here?"
Orishag, buddy, what's up? What's up? Bring it in.
Only thing he says, last time I brought anything in, you brought a knife you brought in a knife.
That was just a joke between friends.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Pritchard, what they let you off your leash?
Ooh. Oh yeah. I'm uncaged now. But let the past be the past. Come on. Sully has the most. It's the biggest grimace as he tries desperately.
Yeah. Well,
to just
he's going to look you up and down. He's like, yeah. You won something.
Yes, I do.
All right, I'll tell you what. Let's make this a little interesting. Want to play for it? And he holds up another ball.
I'm gonna make this clear again. I don't know why everyone loves bowling. There's nothing more despicable. Truly.
Yeah.
The rest of my little group loves to bowl. You love to bowl, obviously. No.
So I think more or less this is the point where Scarlet and V are going to arrive at the bowling alley, and they're going to kind of be, as you're stepping in, you're at the back, so you can't hear what's going on. But you sort of just wandered in and you're looking around, and you sort of look over. You see Odin at the bar, and he kind of just sort of gestures, and you look in his direction, and you see Sully talking to Orishag.
Oh shit! Code Scully. V just runs. Just runs over.
And Orishag's just sort of looking at you. His eyes have a slight glow to them. He
I'm
says,
also going
yeah?
to follow me.
The
You don't
image
play
of
our
a
game.
tiny
I
15-year-old
don't know if
girl
I can help
yelling
you.
that, just beelining over, is the greatest
No.
image in the world.
May I ask a question?
Don't do something
Are there
reckless.
are there 3 demons on Pandemonium?
Yes, right now, yes.
Okay, cool.
His eyes glow, so
little
he
bit.
takes a slightly more defensive position. Don't do anything you might regret now. It's just a simple information exchange. That's
We're
all it
coming
has to
in
be.
behind Sully.
Only thing I'm regretting is
Orishag
not,
can actually see us charging like almost in slow motion.
Only thing
behind him.
only thing I'm not regretting is only thing I'm regretting here is that it's taking we're putting off an opportunity to kick your ass at bowling.
No.
I think you guys are coming up behind Sully. Sully, he like rears back for a second and then slams his own fist, stopping himself, and he's just like, I'm not gonna bowl you. But,
Afraid to play a little friendly game?
Malachi Red.
We don't even have to bet on it, you know?
No, I'm not.
Don't bowl with demons. Don't shop at Tim Hortons. I mean, like, come on. This is the...
And he sort of looks over and quite suddenly is like, what about your friends? They want a game?
We're good, thanks.
What?
Sully, we need to go.
Hold on. I have information.
Okay.
No bowling.
I'm going to need you to manipulate someone.
It's another
Again?
hunter.
Why?
Well, this is a different someone. And if you don't want to go bowling with him, then that's the...
Oh, you're tempting me to just... Okay.
I will mention, however, not to sway you in one direction or another. We will do as you wish. I have something prepared if anyone decides to bowl in here. I'm just putting it out there.
I'm kind of tempted to actually take that now, even though I just took a fate deal last week.
I rolled 8 on that.
8, okay. So let's see.
Are we there?
Oh,
Yeah,
Are we
you're there.
And
You're
can
getting
we
there.
help? Oh wait, no, sorry. So helping isn't going to help. It'll only go boost by 1, right?
Yeah.
Does initiative have something in the playbook that allows help? Because if
no,
or was there, that would be plus
Okay,
2,
so
wouldn't it?
So they will.
Us humans.
So tell them what you want, and basically what you want is Maliki Red, and they'll do it, but only if you do something for them right now to show that you mean it.
It means you got a bowl. You got a bowl.
He says, I tell you what, he says, spinning the ball. Let's not even have a contest. I just want to see you knock down one pin. One. Make it easy for you. I'm not even bowling against you. None of us are bowling against you. I just want to see you knock down one pin, and then I'll tell you everything you want to know about Maliki Red. How does that sound?
Is this when we smash cut to the traumatic bowling experience in Sully's childhood? Back when everyone else was learning violin, he was a bowling prodigy, but...
No. Sully truly has only ever bowled once before, and this is actually gonna get sad, but it probably was when his brother and best friend dragged him to bowl. So
oh man,
oh no,
oh god,
I bowled in like 11 years.
Oh
Yeah.
jeez.
Okay, so
it's Can I roll to keep my cool?
Yeah. If you feel as though you might not, then now is definitely the time to attempt to. Well, let me see here. Act under pressure is more what we're looking at here. So,
Act under pressure.
Yeah.
under pressure. Da, 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 da,
Okay.
da, da,
Well,
da.
let's see. I add nothing to this. Oh wow. Okay.
All right. So.
Ah,
Does anyone want to help? Does anyone want to help Sully in the keeping
I'll
of his
help
cool?
out. I'll give him encouragement. So, roll plus.
So help out is roll plus cool.
Roll plus cool. Okay. Come on, roll.
Okay. So you bumped him up to a 10, so he's able to. So what do you do
But
to kind of?
I kind of just like. I feel like I would just like. I would just like kind of like give a little push. It's like, come on, Sully, you can do it.
And at this point, Orishog looks over and says, "Oh, you got a cheerleader. This is good. This is good." But Sully, you're able to keep your cool as you're, realizing that they're here. You sort of
You
look
can
at.
do it, Sully.
Sully snaps back to his hand shakes as he takes this bowling ball. Yeah, there's probably one of the few times you see a strange sort of emotion come over his face, and then Scarlet bumps in the back, and he just snaps to it. They'll talk to the kids like that. All right, fine. One ball, and I guess I'm gonna bowl.
Okay. So, now, I don't know if I'm going to make you use this move specifically, because this isn't really this kind of situation exactly. But we could use it. Here's the move that I have put together here. When you look to go bowling with the supernatural at Nexus lanes, declare what kind of being you're playing against and roll plus cool. On a 10 plus, you win and gain a favor or info, your choice. On a 7 to 9, you gain information relevant to your mystery but owe a favor to a supernatural creature. On a miss, you let something slip that makes it back to the monster.
So I have to roll cool?
Yeah, you'd be rolling cool.
Shit. All right. I guess I gotta do it.
Got this.
Sully.
You got this.
Sully.
Sully.
Okay.
Oh, wow, I'm just rolling nines today, man.
Dang.
So you gain information relevant to your mystery, but you're going to owe a favor to a supernatural creature. It doesn't necessarily have to be this demon. It can be, but you must declare a supernatural, some kind of supernatural being that you're going to owe a favor to. as a result of this exchange.
Owing favors to supernaturals. This is
Welcome to the
perhaps
club.
the worst outcome for Sully. Sully just thinks I owe Odin one.
Yeah, Odin probably sees what you're doing, and he kind of will help you knock the pin over. He sees that the ball is kind of weaving a little bit. He'll just be like,
Lightning
oh,
just.
He'll just be like, and the pin will will get knocked over when the ball hits. It looks like you made a strike.
2 ravens come down and kind of.
Sully turns his arms out, he's like,
Hey!
Yay!
You did a good job there.
See, but his
See?
right hand does continue to shake.
Not so bad.
Jesus. Yeah, Scott's just there, just like applauding. He's like, "Yay, you did it, Sully! I'm so proud."
Yeah.
Gotta relax.
Yeah.
No.
So that fella Red was talking about hitting up a party tomorrow. A party tomorrow that's going on. Somebody a party at some kid's house that they're doing. It's the sort of the younger, so the just the teen crowd.
How old is he?
I mean, he looks pretty young. He looks like he's probably like 19, something like that.
Fucking creep.
18, 19.
So he'll be at a party tomorrow.
Yeah, it's at who did he say? He says, turning to one of his demon buddies, and they will speak out the name, and the name which they spake is Evans.
Evans.
Oh yeah, Piper Evans. Scarlet and V. That is like the most popular girl in the school right now.
She's.
Sully's completely blank. He's
Yeah.
like, huh? What?
Oh no.
Piper.
You guys know Piper Evans?
Like the most popular girl in our high school. Of course we would know her.
Yeah,
I mean, she doesn't
All
know
right.
us.
She has these lavish parties at her place with because her parents let her, and sometimes she has adults over and stuff like that. She has large amounts of money.
Yeah, she's loaded.
She what?
She's loaded.
Oh. Joyous, a high school party. Well, we know where Malachi Red will be. He's a new supernatural guy. Odin sent something off with him. Thinks he may be sketchy. He's been offering some maybe illicit supernatural substances.
Do you know what kind of substance is it exactly? I might have a clue.
Nope, but I
Is it
have
gravy? It could be gravy.
Wow, gravy.
No, I don't think
No,
it's
I
gravy. I don't think it's gravy.
I don't believe so. Sorry. But hey,
Blood gravy?
I think
No.
this guy's worth checking out. So
I'd say so, yeah.
I guess put on your best, kids, because you're going to Piper's.
No.
And I think on that we're going to take our break. We will be back in just a few minutes. See you folks shortly. Greetings, folks. Welcome to the break. I have Dylan here, Anarasis, to chat about various things that he's got going on. Hello.
Hi. It's been so long.
It's been so long, I know. It's like it's not as though we've been recording these in sequence. No. That's we couldn't possibly. That would be
Don't
wrong.
break the illusion, Jack.
Oh crap! Oh god! No. We are totally, absolutely in two boxes hovering over a neon landscape right now.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that's how it works. But actually, the thing I want to talk about with you right now is the games that you have been producing and working on, various types of gamery and what have you. You have a few titles. that I'm aware of. I'm aware of Spoken Magic. I'm aware of Become. Tell us, how did you get into the design of games, and tell us a little bit about those games.
I got into game design the same way I think a lot of tabletop game designers did, which is that I was playing Dungeons and Dragons and found it uh, really lacking in some important areas for the kind of game that I wanted to play. But also I couldn't convince my players to play anything else. So I got into into game design by hacking D&D, by making new classes, new races, new mechanics, that sort of stuff. And then somewhere around, I want to say back when I was like 16, I had an idea for an original game, like an original RPG system, and I started working on it with some friends, which quickly turned into just me working on it by myself. And I worked on that game for like 5 years or so until finally I realized like I had wrapped up so much emotion in this game and I wanted so badly for it to be good. Um, but you know, the first thing that you do in a field is never good. Like really, it's always going to have problems with it. And so I knew that if I wanted to make this game, like make my baby, I had to put it away and work on some other stuff. Um, and that's how Become started. It was my first project after putting that to the side. Um, I was listening to I remember I was at the grocery store listening to Adam Coble has a show that he does called oh god, oh, what is it? Heck, he has a GM and game design advice show.
Okay.
Office Hours. There we go. Where people send in questions and he answers them. And someone had asked, like, what is it with mind control abilities that in D&D that people don't like? And he had a lot of really insightful things to say that I will not try to repeat. But in essence, like the thesis that I got from it is loss of agency sucks because character creation is hard and people put in a lot of investment, like a lot of personal investment into their characters. So that moment of I have lost control and something bad could happen to my character that I care about because of that is like creates some really, really visceral emotions for people. And I was walking down, I think the like snacks aisle of a Safeway, and I had this thought of like, well, what if your character didn't die when it died? Like, what if death wasn't an option? Then would loss of agency be less bad? Like, can we play if we cordon off mortality? Can we play in this region of agency? And that bursts this whole game of being a program and a machine.
Cool. Well, for folks who aren't familiar, could you tell us a little bit about what Become is about?
Yeah, so I touched on it a little bit. That was the mechanical kernel that got me to start chewing. But really, Become is setting wise, it's a tech noir investigation game. So if you think about sort of the setting of Tron, where you have like AI who are personified as characters that exist within a fully simulated environment, but then you just smash that together with the Maltese Falcon with this like noir, Art Deco, investigative tone. That's the setting for Become. But ultimately, while you explore mysteries and go through this digital environment and investigate other programs, really the mystery at the center of it and the investigation at the core of any game of Become is one of self-discovery. As these AI start from a place where like a person wrote them and was like, this is who you are. But as you play, and more importantly, as you fail, you slowly begin to build your own principles, your own desires that shape who you are.
Very cool, and I mean that's also excellent that you're making failure a key part of it, because that's Always something that, especially in modern games, that you hear needs to be a thing is failure must be interesting. And if it contributes to your character's growth, I think that's all the more so. So that is awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about Spoken Magic.
Spoken Magic is secretly another game about self-discovery. So all of my games, I write, with the exception of a few that are just like I wrote this to be silly. Like I wrote a nap LARP that fits inside of a single tweet, that I'm still pretty proud of. But that was just like me being silly. But all the games that I really sit down and take time to write out are made to like teach a thing, to get players to interact with an idea and get a better understanding of it. So while Become was sort of the formation of identity, Spoken Magic is a game where you go on a journey and you collaborate with the other players at the table to solve problems with magic. And then once you reach the end of your journey, you come back and you reflect on how that journey has changed you. But sort of the really small elevator pitch I like for Spoken Magic is it's The Hobbit, but everybody plays Gandalf. But but really, what's happening is at the beginning of the game tells you who you are, and then you play through and have these experiences with the other people at the table. And at the very end, the game asks you to define who you are, because I think so often that's what happens to people in real life. Is, you are born and raised in a specific set of circumstances, and people will tell you who you are because of those circumstances. But it's our experiences and the moments that we share with other people around us that really shape that. And when you go long enough and exist in that space for long enough, eventually you get to decide who you are. And Spoken Magic really is a game about trying to experience that with other people.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's I think it's very cool that you're putting out games that let people sort of play in that realm, because that's it's kind of critical to the human condition, I would think. So
yeah, I'd like to think that I'm saying something useful with these games, but that's ultimately not for me to decide.
Very cool, though. Very cool. Do you have anything else going on game-wise that you'd want to mention?
Yeah, so the way that I design games is a little weird. I have a running document of probably 20 or so games that I'm working on, but I have one that I'm actively writing right now, and by the time anyone sees this, I suspect I will have the fully playtestable version of it out. It's a game called Letting Go, which is it's a loose hack of a game by my friend Summer called Knowing You, which is Knowing You is a question and answer storytelling game that has a really interesting format, but explores the end of a relationship through, like, you start at the end of the relationship and work your way backward. And with Letting Go, I wanted to take that same idea of having a game that exists purely in the space of somebody asking questions and someone answering them. But specifically, Letting Go is a game in which you explore someone's grief. You explore the grief of two people separating for whatever reason, whether it be moving apart, a breakup, a death, anything like that. And really diving into one player's grief, and figuring out what it looks like, but also getting to hear those things that we never really get to hear in those situations, the responses, the things that the other person would want to say, and give players a moment, whether it's their coming up with characters for the game, or whether they had an NPC that they really cared about die in a campaign, or something like that they want to explore. Really getting an opportunity to have those conversations that in real life we never get to have.
That is very cool. That is really cool. Well, I very much look forward to seeing when that comes out. In the meantime, if folks want to find any of these games online, where should they go?
Become, as of recording, Become is not available publicly. But if you are interested in it, I can tell you without revealing too much that you should be following the Twitter at HeartHeldGames, which is the official Twitter for my games publishing label, which Become is being published under. Spoken Magic is available on my itch.io, which is ANARISIS .itch.io or .itch.io. And Letting Go will be up on itch eventually, but the first playtest version will be available for free on my Patreon, which is also an RSS, which is where all of my playtest notes for new games, but also I do a bunch of like homebrew stuff that goes up there every month. So yeah, that's where you can find those things.
Excellent, awesome. Well, go forth and seek those things out, or wait upon their release, and I think you shall not be disappointed. Thank you very much for coming and chatting with us. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for asking to have me on and to have me talk about my games. It's nice. It's fun.
They deserve it. They absolutely do. Well, folks, I'm going to go ahead and throw things back over to probably myself or to the moving break screen, whatever it is that I've got going on right now, as we're dashing around crazily in the background. But in the meantime, we will see you later. We have returned, and now we will find out more things that are going on here, and folks need to regroup and see kind of what's going on. So I think the first question that I have is, does everyone now, the party that in question happens tomorrow night, so you have a little time. Do you all want to regroup tonight? Do you want to regroup tomorrow? When do you want to get everyone back together to talk about things?
I think discussing stuff would need to happen as soon as possible, like now rather than later.
So how do we
Or
do
he
this?
doesn't sleep, so.
Yeah, neither does Ozzy, so it doesn't really matter.
Do like the three of you head over to Teslagrad, or do you call them and meet somewhere else? How do you do this?
We could probably just head to Ozzy's place.
Yeah.
Okay, so the three of you head over to Teslagrad Manor.
I think for some reason, whenever someone says Teslagrad Manor, like lightning strikes above the manor.
Stately. Meanwhile, back at stately Teslagrad Manor.
Yeah. So, start pulling up to this house on the hill, what do they find Ozzy and Ori doing when they arrive at Teslagrad Manor?
There's just slime everywhere.
So Ozzy's definitely working on the piece of Teslarite, like pretty much forging it into the part he needs for the window.
Mm-hmm.
He definitely left Ori to her own devices with her new pet slime.
Yeah, so I imagine like Ori's created like a jar, like a sealed glass jar for the slime, and it's just sitting beside her now as she's like hanging out, like reading a book in the living room with but hanging upside down, like sitting with her feet up on the back of the chair and just hanging back with this book, and the slime right next to her.
Could the slime have one of those hamster wheels in the cage, and it just would claw on it and just slimes right through the grate? Just tries it again.
Oh no!
I imagine it just kind of like swirls around in the tube. It's sad.
Let's just get to business. There's so much for me to comment on.
Or he'll do like a backflip off kind of tumble backwards off the chair to right herself and look around for a second. Oh. Welcome.
Yeah.
Ozzy is downstairs.
All right.
What's Ozzy doing?
We found the Teslaite that he needs to build his portal window dimension thing.
All right, he was talking about that. I'm glad.
Also, we found a slime, and she'll just pick it up and be like oddly proud of it. His name is Spot.
Oh, that's great, kiddo. It's real
I
nice.
do not think that I qualify as a child. I am over 50 years old.
Right.
It's like
despite what Ozzy.
Where's Ozzy? Where's Ozzy?
Downstairs in his laboratory. I imagine the Teslagrad Manor has like this servant bell system.
Yeah.
And so she'll just pull the laboratory bell.
And as soon as he pulls the laboratory bell, a gigantic monitor lowers down. And it turns on. And you see Ozzy working on the piece of Teslarite. He looks up. He's like, "Oh, you're here. Wonderful. Hold on. I will come upstairs." And the monitor slowly rises back up.
I assume that Ozzy doesn't actually need to have those cool welding goggles, but you have them anyway,
yes,
just so you could put them on, because it's like this is such a scientist move.
Yes.
Click.
He has it like only for the sheer effect because he likes having it.
Mm-hmm.
So then he comes back upstairs, wiping his hands off and like pulling off these big black rubber gloves. It's like, so how did your information gathering going?
I know some interesting stuff.
Sully went bowling.
Yeah, he did. It was really cool.
Like his eyes widen. He's like, "Where? Did?" He runs off.
Hey.
He comes back with the Pandemonium shirt and gives it to Sully. I was waiting for this day so much.
No.
And I was hoping that you would talk to me about it. Say, Ozzy, I want to join the Pandemoniums, here you go. And it actually has his name embroidered on the front of it and everything.
Oh my god!
Listen, Ozzy, we're friends, but if you give me this bowling shirt, I promise I will burn it.
Understandable. One day, don't worry. And he puts it off to the side.
Okay, well, all right. So me, Scarlet, and V all have bits of information, and I think it all comes together to a decent whole, or at least something we can work on. No, I mean, like the pieces sort of fit together. It's like a messed up jigsaw.
Like a donut.
I don't.
Yes, just like a donut. A donut is actually more like a pastry of a jigsaw when you think about it, because it has the donut, and then if you get the donut hole, you put it inside and you solve the pastry puzzle.
I'm
What
gonna
if
stop.
the donut hole is just another smaller donut with another smaller hole?
Oh, jeez.
I'll go
Perhaps
make
wait a-
tea, and V disappears into the
What
kitchen as this conversation has happened
Ori,
frequently.
what if perhaps yes, the donut, the trans-space donut theory. If a black hole goes into a wormhole. Anyway, what did you find out?
I'm gonna stop trying to use metaphors. So Malachi Red, new in town, came through a few days ago. Got a bad vibe on him from Odin.
He always has very good intuition about people. That's why I like him so much.
Yeah. Still fun when I almost burned down his place, though. It's great. So he's around. We discovered that this guy Malachi Red, he's been trying to give out some sketchy things to supernatural creatures. Think it might be some sort of drug or substance, perhaps. And he's going to be at what's that girl's name?
Piper
Evans?
Right. He's going to be at a high school party tomorrow. Piper Evans, coolest girl in school or something like that. I'm thinking we got 3 eligible teens. Well, I mean, or you're... This still baffles me to this day. Anyway, you would probably also...
I am teenage sized.
I'm teenage shaped.
Confusion.
Ori, how old are you, Ori? I'm teenage shaped.
I think if you ever come, we'll just say you're 16.
Ori,
Perfect.
this is another milestone for you.
How so?
Your first teenage party.
I have been to a party before. They took me.
Oh,
that...
I threw a party. And since
V
it has
leaves.
been
Meaningful
right.
look at V.
No,
you
no,
threw that party,
Fades kind of
and he-
away into the
and he
kitchen.
goes, right, when you threw that party, wink.
I just
Without
grabbed V's arm and drags her back in here, just like, nope, you're not getting away from
Ollie,
this
That's right, I forgot about the party you threw without supervision, wink.
Yeah. I should probably
please.
accompany to this party in case V needs help getting home again.
That is a good idea. Also, if this whatever this substance is at this party and is being dealt there, one, as going back to my 1980s PSA, drugs are bad. But if you can obtain a sample of this stuff, I could try to break it down and see what it is made of.
I think I might have a hint at what it might be, but I don't know.
Oh, what is it?
So I kind of learned from some places that some 2 box loads of griffin liver has been stolen, and I've done a bit of research, and it can have some very interesting effects.
Interesting.
Griffin liver.
Yep. So I'm just gonna take it down to the most simplistic one. It's just that if you take some, you just go. Brrr.
Oh, I see. Perhaps is it more of a psychedelic? Is a psychedelic upper and downer narcotic that causes the brain to react in a way of seeing hallucinogenic images while maintaining a state of
it
relaxation.
literally makes you fly, and then you just fall.
Oh, a drug
Would that
alters-
explain the body in the park? And if
Your
all these
daughter, I
teenagers
think-
took it,
Yes,
lots of people will die.
that's
Yes.
true.
So
Dear
I got
daughter,
a
we
better
need to do
look at
this.
that look at the body,
Uh-huh.
and there's definitely a substance in the bloodstream that all the bodies in question had that substance. No one could identify it using, those techniques, but
You see, it's like I said, the pieces came together like a jigsaw.
Just like a donut hole.
We've got...
Okay.
No, that's
Yeah,
not...
and
No, never mind.
I'm just gonna tell you something that's more like really, really secret. So can you guys just keep this between us, okay?
Oh, the walls
I
of
have-
Tesla Grad Manor is impenetrable.
I have no one else to tell.
Except me.
Are my only acquaintances and friends.
Okay, good.
Ozzy looks at Ori,
So
and like his
sad.
eyes like grow wide and wobbly. He's like, daughter, do you have no other friends besides them?
Why would I
Whoa,
need
whoa.
more friends? Quality over quantity.
Hey,
She does have a good point.
He just goes. He gives Ori a big hug.
She just kind of like pats him on the back very mechanically.
Okay, well.
Right.
All right.
So-
We definitely need to stop the production and the distribution of this drug before everybody flies up into the sky and falls to Earth. Well, at least all the teenagers. I don't know about the
Yeah,
adults.
so remember the kind of portal I went through earlier kind of thing?
Oh, yes, I do remember to the floating island.
Yes. So there was also another thing stolen. I won't go into any much detail, but I'll only say that it kind of goes with how like the stars are aligned. So aka it's kind of like a mobile power source without it being a power source.
I think you may need to go describe it a little bit better with that. Is it that it uses
It's kind of yes, it does like a bit of like cosmic and astrology kind of thing. It's really weird, but like think of it as this. Like think of it as, for example, that this thing is like an adrenaline drug for an athlete, and if the athlete's doing a race, you give them the drug, it makes their speed more potent. So if you're using more magic sense, it's like giving more potency to a ritual, making it stronger.
That sounds like it could lead to bad things.
picking up what you're putting down.
Indeed, it could lead to bad things.
The thing is, I knew it was missing for a couple of months before they did.
Scarlet,
Yes?
what is this item?
It's called the sextant. It's looks kind of like a nautical kind of compassy telescope thingy.
Would Ozzy know of the sextant through like all of his adventures and everything? Would he have heard of it?
Let me see if I actually wrote down the official name of the thing rather than... No, I did not. I think I called it the Sextant of Transit.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
sextant of transit.
Would have he known of the sextant of transit through like his adventures?
Possibly. Yeah, it would have been some time ago. Yeah, I think that. Well, yeah, okay, we'll use that old chestnut. Yeah, the Nazis tried to get a hold of it during World War II.
Of course. All else fails, blame the Nazis.
Hashtag blame the Nazis.
All else fails.
He
It
thinks about it for a bit. He goes, "That's right. I heard about the item that those Krux tried to take from America. They tried to use it as a tool to stop us. I thought it was only a rumor. I didn't know it was real."
Yeah, it's real, and now it's gone. I don't know where it is, but it possibly might be connected to this, but I don't know.
Well, he like kneels down next to Scarlet, puts a hand on her shoulder. Scarlet, you're very brave to be honest about this.
To be honest, I was more honest with V than I was with everyone else.
Oh, you were?
He slowly looks over at V.
Sully looks right at V. Oh, wow.
He looks over at
Ori.
V, looks over at Scarlet. It's like,
I am truly shocked by this development.
I am quite shocked also.
I just look at
No.
Sully and just say, "Are you though? Are you
Not
really?"
really. I am not shocked actually at all. But
No.
regardless, you're still very brave to tell us to be open and admit that this happened. Well, we need to find this sextant and also stop these drugs.
Ori,
Yeah.
during that whole exchange of, well, I was more honest with V, was like not really paying attention, but just like put a hand on V's head briefly. And then just goes like straight back to business. Like,
It's okay, V. We're here for you, pet.
would this red person be able to steal the sextant? Are they a person? Do we know anything about them?
Oh yeah, so we do know if they're supernatural.
I think you told me what they were, right?
He said said he was one of the Fae.
Right. He's a fairy guy.
But
So
did Scarlet not make a deal with the fairy court?
well, this is a new guy to town.
Yeah.
Well,
Do we know what this red Malachi looks like?
I think from what I heard, he said he was like 19-ish.
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, I'll say he gave you a sort of a rough description. He looks like he's 18, 19 year old kid with a kind of always grinning at people. He dresses kind of archaically. He wears a kind of a he wears a sort of a brown suit with burgundy sort of vest and stuff, and he wears a bowler hat.
Oh, one of those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, for the party tomorrow, guys are gonna have to look for that guy specifically, Malachi Red.
Malachi Red. All right. Ori, V, Scarlet, you know what you need to do.
Don't worry, kids. I'm sure
Hi.
you can handle it.
I have one further question.
Uh,
The Fae who Scarlet met, could they be the same person?
No. I don't.
No, he was
No.
he was much older.
No, looks much older. Kind of looks like a leprechaun.
Perhaps it is some form of deception. We should be wary.
Hmm.
I'll keep my eyes open.
Well,
It,
I
actually,
never trust Faye.
does anyone here frequent that God brain?
Tim Hortons.
Thank you. Does anyone frequent that Tim Hortons or no?
Oh, Ozzy does all the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
If you go
so
into
does
that
Ori.
Tim Hortons, then you know that is Tiernan O'Donnelly.
Okay.
Okay.
He's and yes, he is a leprechaun.
All right.
He is also a decent cook.
Well, I think we'll probably definitely come across these drugs, and I definitely want a sample of this drug if you can bring it back to me, if possible.
You can try to. And I'm just gonna look over at P and just give her like a sly wink, be like, "So, shall we get ready for tomorrow then? It'll be quite eventful."
V's like looks at everybody and just like, if we have to, if we must.
Sully's giving me that look.
I'm just gonna go over to B and just like give her some rub her shoulders for reassurance. Be like, Don't worry. As long as we're together, we're gonna be just fine. You don't have to worry about a thing.
Yeah, together, V.
Yeah, I mean, it's a party. What could go wrong at a party?
Actually, many things could go wrong at a party. Someone can
Good
spill a
thing.
drink.
Remind me to bring an extra pair of shoes in case that incident happens again.
As Wally is going on, I just as Ozzy is going on, I just like put my hand on. I'm like, I don't think they need the truth about what could go wrong.
Oh, right, of course. I apologize. Everything will be fine.
I will bring whiskey.
So reassuring.
Like when Ori says that, Ozzy goes, like, wait a minute. As a father, I should say no to this. However, I want Ori to embrace her teenage life and
I am
have
50
these...
years old. It is legal for me to consume alcohol.
In that case, yes. You can bring the whiskey.
Also, as a non-biological being, I do not consume the alcohol, for I have no mouth.
Even if Ozzy said no, Sully would have just later been like, just take it, man.
Yeah.
I have this headcanon that anytime Ori goes out and goes to an event where she has to bring alcohol, she just gives it to Sully afterwards.
He's got this huge collection of brown bags.
It's a collection of like really nice like bottles of bourbon and scotch and stuff.
I think that Ori will buy whiskey for parties, but she never gives it out. She just holds it she stands at the party the entire time with it in the brown bag, not sure what to do. She just knows I'm supposed to bring whiskey to these parties.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
That girl's hardcore.
I
That
think
girl's a robot.
if we are in agreement, then I think we're going to fast forward a bit.
Does that mean we're getting all our long rests and everything? And how does that work anyway in this?
How do long rests work? That's true.
Anything less than 4 damage disappears after an evening.
Yeah. So I mean, so you're going to be healed up from the 1 harm that those of you who took harm took, so it's going to be so the next evening, provided no one has anything major they want to take care of prior to that, then I think we're going to go to Piper's house. So Piper lives actually not too far from the school. It's just because her complex is kind of the basically just a little trip across. It's on the other side of the woods, basically from the school. But she has it's like it's one of those 3-story expensive houses that one sees in the suburbs, in the expensive part of the suburbs, and it's in its own community sort of subdivision thing. So it's like it's still walled in. The community is walled in, but the houses. So I presume that I presume, has anyone done anything as far as trying to get an invitation to this party, or are you just going?
So that's what I was going to ask you. I mean, I don't want to add a further scene, but...
we might add a further role, I would say.
Yeah. I think, if this is not open to... Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, Ori, when she went to the liquor store to buy her alcohol, she bought an extra bottle as a bribe to get in the door. Because she that's her only understanding of how teenagers work. She figures that if they're out there to buy drugs, they will also be interested in alcohol.
That's
so top shelf stuff.
That is very insightful.
She's watched a lot of to prepare. She watched a bunch of teenage rom-com kind of movies.
Oh my gosh!
And coming of age,
follow none of the advice.
We know. Okay, look, this takes place in Canada. We all know what she watched. So let's just say it out loud. She watched a lot of Degrassi.
Yeah.
Let's just say it. Get it out there in the open.
Degrassi and like High School Musical, like she has no reference for what it's actually like, so.
Oh.
Jim, is this an invite-only party, or is this a this is come as you are?
In theory, people were trying to get an invite, but so it was something that it was kind of sort of, it was something that people were not. It was supposed to be kind of a secret, but people kind of talked about it anyway. You sort of picked that up during school the next day. That their people are a little excited and they're kind of talking in hushed tones about the party, and so it's one of those things where it is invite only, but at the same time they expect a lot of people to show up anyway.
Okay, it's not like we have to get dates or something to the party.
It's a date either way. But
I mean, it shouldn't be that complicated.
But if you're not invited and I'm not invited, then we would have to figure out a way to get invited, further complicating the scenario. But
they kind of the word kind of gets out, and so it's they're gonna have a lot of people there.
Cool. All right.
Before the teens leave for this party, Sully pulls V aside and holds up the truck keys and says, "Just don't wreck it, man. Just don't wreck it." And he hands her the keys. All right, have fun.
Oh my god!
I love the idea that I'm getting handed the keys to a truck that, without fail, has a shotgun in it.
Actually, do I have a shotgun?
That's a good question.
No, it would have my hunting rifle in it. Actually,
Okay.
no, because I'm wielding that tonight. It has an assault rifle in it.
Okay. Cool.
That should be safe.
Before they go,
I have a little compartment.
much like Sully, Ozzy goes over to Ori and says, "Ori, before you go," he pulls out this overly complicated looking key and hands it over to her.
She kind of takes it like it's like the Holy Grail.
Please don't scratch it.
I promise.
Oh, okay. So you're going in separate vehicles.
I don't want to infringe on their date.
That's fair. I was wondering. See, the thing is, I was wondering if Ozzy and Sully were going to be hanging out near the party as backup or anything, or if they were just going to like be hanging out at the mansion.
Oh, I think they probably would have.
Is there any abandoned buildings around near the house? Any abandoned houses? Sorry, not buildings.
In that neighborhood, there might be houses that have not yet been sold. There is a certain amount of security, however, that might be involved in getting into said house.
Damn, I just need a sight line on this party.
Why?
Just lay down in the back of the pickup.
You ask as Sully is wielding a hunting rifle with like a scope.
Ori has 100% used like a shoulder holster under her leather jacket that she's partially zipped up to take her 38 revolver, and I imagine she has like this clockwork sword that kind of like telescopes in the same way as a baton, and she's put that in the other holster, and is trying to make it not look awkward.
Nice.
I need to ask though, how is a 9mm really small?
It's an average size. Like where are you trying to stash it?
Because I'll be wearing a dress and I want to try to stash it like under the skirt.
You could wear it in like a garter kind of holster. It's definitely small enough for that. I mean, it depends on the 9mm, but
It just says 9mm.
Inner thigh, yeah.
mm-hmm.
I like to think if they are definitely having issues on what kind of weapons to bring into this.
Because I don't think a heavy sword or a crossbow would work in this case.
You do wield magic, however.
I do.
Yes, you do.
I do. I do wield magic.
However, I would like to use a move. I would like to use the move Science. I can create guided weapons to help you in the investigation. Since this is part of the investigation, I would like to make Scarlet, V, and Ori some basic using the properties that he discovered off of Spot. He created like glue bombs to throw at people.
Ooh,
I like it.
nice.
All right.
And he
Very
wants to
nice.
give one to each of the girls just in case things get dicey.
Be careful.
Yeah, we can use that as your hype right now. Yeah, sure. So you'll each have. I love the idea. You each have a glue bomb.
Glue bomb.
Sully
Okay.
did not give V a gun because he's confident in her abilities.
Yeah, V's not going to carry a gun to begin with. Though in the playbook under weapons, the only thing that I could think of that she would carry is being a fan of Chinatown. She does have a switchblade.
There we go.
Good.
Okay,
Its name is Jake.
as is right and proper. Okay, so you all are going to head over, and I presume that as you're getting out of your perspective, that there are cars kind of scattered all over this little road by the house, so you can immediately tell which house it is because it's got all these cars lined up. And you can kind of hear the sort of these thrumming coming from the. You hear the thrum coming from the house, and you see the lights coming off of it. I presume that Sully and Ozzy are kind of going to just be concealed in their respective vehicles or something, or.
I mean, because Ozzy probably has a second car for these reasons.
Sure.
Because there's the main vehicle, which is the science mobile that he calls it, and he gave it to Ori, which is basically a tricked out DeLorean. He specifically told her not to take it over 88 because weird shit will happen.
Well, yeah, that's the problem.
But he also has like a roadster that he lets Sully drive.
It's Sully, I don't know how often you've driven this, but it's remarkably quiet.
Is it just a regular roadster?
It's like,
is it a Tesla Roadster or is it a?
When he asks that, he goes, "Yeah, it's just a regular car."
Well, is it an electric car or is it a?
No, it's just a regular car.
Okay, that's not that quiet.
He looks at it sadly. It's like, just a regular car.
Oh, I'm loving this. Let me take it around the block. It's the gas.
Oh yes, it does pretty well. It does pretty well.
I mean, it could be better. I could add a.
No.
If you want.
No.
I mean, I could replace the alloy with magnetic coating that after it hits certain miles per hour, electrons built over the surface, causing it to fly.
Why would I want that?
Because you have a flying car.
Leave this fine vehicle alone.
I suppose.
I have the feeling it's
sadly.
like we again get this brief montage of everyone driving to the party with pulling into the party and hearing this sharp contrast with this old pickup where there's, which I assume is like full of silence, unless Scarlet and V have a particular music that they like that they want to play, that they can agree on, then this roadster driving around, probably if Sully's driving, he's probably turned on like the 80s or 90s rock station. It's just sort of banging out, driving around the blocks with that. And then Ori V pulls up in a DeLorean.
That's definitely blaring like really like new wave glitch hop. Like you can see, and the Tesla coils like light up to the beat. Yeah.
So I think that when you pull up with that, a few of the kids actually will come running out of the house to see it, because this is unusual.
But really cool. Like
Yeah. They're like,
And
oh,
Rachel
hey,
looks-
what's that?
And it's like,
Is that the
you know, like
Science-Mobile?
new music. She's done her research. She steps out though, and she is still dressed like Dean Winchester. She's got like this knife on her, or like this what looks like could probably be a Bowie knife on her belt because it didn't fit underneath her jacket, and then her mask, and she's switched her eyes to glow like more like neon colors. One's like bright turquoise and the other one's like bright green. And she has like just two bottles of like top shelf scotch in her hand.
So, yeah, you see these, basically these a couple of girls and a couple of guys have run out, as you're kind of heading toward the entrance, and one of the girls just sort of is looking up and down. She's like, "What is that? Wow, what is that? Are you like from? You're like supposed to be someone out of Fury Road or something?"
I mean, possibly. But really, I am just here to have a good time. And she like holds out a bottle of whiskey.
They exchange a glance and they say, "Come in."
I really like Daft Punk.
And Ori has made a significant. You do notice that she's actually changed the way she speaks to be a lot more natural.
Ooh, nice.
And it gets better as the night goes on, the more she listens.
Are you waiting for Scarlet and V to come up, or do you just go in on your own?
I will stand by the door and just say, I'm waiting for a couple people. I will bring them in when we are ready.
So Scarlet and V, and they're like, and Scarlet and V will arrive and sort of head up.
I got us into the party.
So you've come in, you've got this great car, it's blasting all the current music, and we're bringing in Sully's clunker that's like probably is very efficient, but it does look like he has probably been hunting and or fishing in it. He didn't take it to it, he was actually hunting and fishing in it.
Right, in the center of the lake.
We, of course, we're a little late to the party, so we've got to park down the hill from it behind all the other cars, but just
Called
off.
fashionably late.
Yes, we're fashionably late.
Yes.
There's nothing fashionable. Actually, that's not true. Actually, V's is wearing like head to toe designer clothing, but it's stuff that was her sister's, and it's like 2 or 3 years out of date. Not that she would know, but that's just kind of what her parents keep on giving her. So she put on the least provocative outfit she could find, basically double layered as armor, and yeah, she also brought a change of clothes and is probably going to avoid alcohol this evening.
And this, like, you would see, like, Scarlett just, like, she looks actually quite nice. She has, like, this kind of, like, up to, like, her kneecaps kind of dress, like, mid-length trains with, like, a nice one shoulder. The dress is kind of, like, this nice, like, red to match her hair. Like, her hair is, like, really nice, pulled back with some nice jewelry. And, like, she kind of just looks like she's, like, she kind of looks like she's a celebrity. She kind of maybe put a little glamour on to help with the makeup a little bit because she was in a bit of a rush, but
That's cool. And she has a tattoo sleeve, right?
yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Her left arm has a whole tattoo sleeve. It's like the right shows like this, and it kind of like shows all the tattoos, which is really cool.
So yeah, the V's the opposite of that.
Awesome. So the three of you stride into this house, where there's basically there's not a lot of room to move around because there are a lot of kids here, going back and forth up and down the stairs, drinking, playing loud music, and so you are here amidst this sea of teen angst. What would you like to do?
I think V is clearly uncomfortable. However,
Uh-oh.
Oh, I think we lost.
No.
We lost Drew again. Are you back?
I am. Yeah. So, okay, you didn't hear any of that.
I heard
Cool.
V is uncomfortable.
All right. So Vi's uncomfortable, but this is the mystery. So she is gonna go all business, because the sooner they find this guy and the sooner they solve this mystery, the sooner they can leave.
Cool. So, what do you?
But
what
you
do
have me by your side, so we'll have a good time.
So yeah, you got folks going back and forth drinking. You've got this is a pretty big house. You've got sort of living room, kitchen area on the ground floor. Upstairs you have the second floor, probably a few bedrooms, you think, and then there's a third floor with probably like the master bedroom. There's a swimming pool in the back, from what you've heard.
Darn, I wish I brought my swimsuit.
And there are people out there. You think there might be a DJ out there, from what you can hear. That you think that's where the primary music is coming from, that thrumming in the back. So people have, there are lights going, and there are a couple of there are TVs on that are just showing different images from videos without you can't actually hear them because they're playing the music. And people hanging out, chatting, eating. What would you all like to do?
All right, I'm gonna retcon something, because this is about blending into the party and getting information. So V's wearing a big old bulky coat. Looks like it's definitely like hiding. And as soon as they get to the party, she takes it off, and she's actually wearing something kind of cute underneath it, so that she could blend in a little bit. But isn't the moment she puts it on, that's when she's going into the role. I think that's the mystery.
I think as Scarlett notices that shirt, she's like, "Oh, I haven't seen this shirt in so long. It really suits you. You look so cute in it."
Thank you. So if I were going to be giving out a drug that caused people to levitate, I don't think I would do it inside, because there's not going to be much. I mean, and if there's no danger in that. I think I would go outside. Yeah.
As Ori just kind of puts her hand on V's shoulder, and she's like, "I've got this." And she'll change her eyes so that they flicker in time with the music again. And so she just looks like she's there for a rave.
Right.
And looks exactly like the kind of person who would probably be into illicit drugs.
Yeah, nice. I like it. That's cool.
And she will go outside.
All right, yeah. So do we stay together, or we split up?
Perhaps stay together. I don't really know what I am looking for.
That's probably a good idea. Let's stick together. We can go outside and dance a little. Maybe grab a bite to eat.
V's gonna be doing a lot of act under pressure tonight, isn't she? All right, cool.
Don't worry. As long as you're with me, you'll be safe.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about a thing.
Ori is still holding her second bottle of whiskey.
Do you have it in both hands? Do you have?
No, I gave
both?
one
Okay.
as a bribe to
All right, cool.
get us into the party.
Okay.
And she will offer it to both Scarlett and V.
I'm good, thank you. I have learned my lesson.
I'm so glad. I'm so proud of you. And I'm just gonna give her a quick smooch on the cheek.
She blushes visibly.
Okay, I believe now is the time to act under pressure. Probably not. No. In a minute we'll be. I have to see what you're actually doing before I act under pressure.
I will bring up the roll 20 in case.
Yeah. But
Me too.
Just let me know what you folks are doing. You're heading to the back?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm just gonna look around,
Okay.
we're just gonna look around, maybe dance a little just to camouflage, but
right.
keep an eye out for someone who Solly described.
Okay, so
Or the Arts Monks.
So Scarlett, what I would like you to do then as you're out here and you're all heading out and you see there are people dancing. Some of them are half naked. Some of them are going up on the diving boards and diving into the pool. And there's again there's a DJ out here spinning things. The various he has big speakers that have the rotating lights on them. There are a bunch of people here. And some of them are dressed. A lot of them are just dressed down. A lot of them are dressed up. And I would like you to read a bad situation.
All right.
So please roll plus sharp.
Roll plus sharp. Okay, I can do that. Oof. That will be another experience point for me.
So, we can. So either you get XP, or you can spend luck, or someone can help you.
I just have. Can I have some help?
I will attempt to help.
All right.
Because that is what I'm here to do.
So roll plus cool.
Oh, that's right. Your help is good help.
That is so much help. So you're gonna grant. What are you doing to help Scarlet look around and scope the place out?
So Ori has a vague understanding of the notion of a shady person, but she literally thinks about it in the terms of somebody who stands in the shadows, and she's just like gonna kind of hang out, move more towards like the edges of like a fence or whatever, where people are probably just hanging out.
Yeah.
And try to just look inconspicuously cool.
Excellent.
And just kind of case out, like try to memorize as many faces as she can and stuff like that.
Awesome. Okay, so Scarlet, that bumps you up to an 8, which is still 7 to 9. So you can spend a hold to ask one of these questions on the read a bad situation list.
Let's go with. Are there any dangers we haven't noticed?
So many. Because this is a bad situation.
This is a pretty bad situation.
Few things.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna figure out where they are. Okay. So, on the one hand, you have figured out where Piper is. She is out here.
Okay.
Surrounded by her court, a cluster of individuals.
Of course she is.
They're over by these. She's sitting in a lounge chair that's kind of up on a few stacks of things. Next to this barbecue that's going on. They're sort of barbecuing stuff out here. She is there, just sort of looking over everything and looking as though she could, at any moment, as she often does, because your understanding of her is that she, her idea of popularity, or what she does, is just basically quietly owning everything. And everything she surveys.
It's like everything the light touches is yours.
Yes, exactly. So there's that. You note that near the on the opposite side, across the pool, there is in the fence. There's a fence. And beyond the fence is the forest. And it is over by there's a gate that is standing open, and it's over by that gate that you hear people sort of kind of can barely make out people sort of chuckling in a perhaps slightly more than intoxicated way. You see a little bit of smoke rising from over there. And you do see you catch a brief glimpse passing back and forth of a tall individual wearing a suit and a red vest and a red bowler hat.
I guess she would look over to the others and with Ori's help, she'll look over and be like, she'll very quietly point him out, saying like, I think that's our guy. She'll kind of glance in this direction.
Perhaps I should go over there and speak with him, being not quite natural myself. Maybe it would seem less odd than two humans coming up to him.
But wouldn't he notice immediately?
I can pull an excuse, probably. Like that I am well attuned to supernatural beings, and that caught my interest. As opposed to two humans who are supposed to know nothing about the supernatural world, asking questions.
All right, if you feel comfortable doing that, but we're right here as backup if you need us.
I will. Well,
just give us a signal if you need a hand.
She nods and she's like, red is bad. Red eyes are bad.
Ooh, clever.
And she'll point towards Piper. Perhaps stay out of her gaze as well.
Probably a good idea. I'm just gonna look over to that view of the forest real quick.
And before she goes, she pulls out from an inside pocket, while making sure not to flash her sidearm, a small Mickey of cheaper bourbon, and she shoves it at them and is like, when in doubt, just stand against the wall and pretend you're drinking this. It'll be fine. According to the films and videos. And just walks off.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, no, let's see. I will ask briefly. Are Ozzy and Sully just sort of staked out in the car outside? Is that kind of... Is that right? Okay.
Yep. Waiting for any side of trouble.
Yeah, they're sitting in the car. Ozzy's just singing along with the radio.
As Ori is walking, kind of weaving her way through the crowd as well, she's going to send a quick text to Ozzy that just says the forest around back.
He looks
And then follows it up after thinking about it for a moment with no danger yet, but just in case.
So he looks at the phone. He's like, oh, okay. And he looks over at Sully. He's like, we should keep an eye on the forest around the back of the house.
All
No
right.
danger, but it just might be, issues might be over there.
I look through the scope of my hunting rifle towards the forest.
Hey, there's some teenagers right there. They look like they're having a great time.
Get off my lawn.
Get off your own lawn.
Okay, so Ozzy and Sully are circling around the back. Is that what's happening? Is that...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He hops out, goes to the trunk, pops it open, and he just pulls out this big old Tesla lightning cannon. He's like, "Let's go!" And he heads over to where the forest is at.
Brilliant.
So many surprises. So many.
All right. And Scarlet and V are hanging out where? Just so I'll know.
I'm just hanging out on the balcony, as much as I can, just looking as if I'm having a good time, and I'm just
So
keeping
balcony. So are you going back inside?
Is the dance floor closer?
I mean, there's some folks kind of dancing out here.
Yeah, when I
there are also some dancing inside.
I'm still kind of outside, but I'm keeping an eye on that forest because it's giving me weird vibes.
Okay.
For some reason.
Yeah, sure. It has, and yeah, if it's the same, yeah, and it does that sometimes from the other side too. Whenever you're heading to school, so yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, because
It's a little stronger even from this side. But
would I know if it was from like something that's magic or?
nah, it's hard to say. I mean, it's just sort of right now. It's just kind of a weird feeling. Are you near the house, or are you going further to like the opposite side where the gate is?
I'm just near the house, just like observing.
Okay, so you're still
Yeah.
in the backyard patio.
Yeah, keeping an eye
on the
out.
opposite side of the swimming pool from where Maliki is. Okay. So Ori, well, actually, before Ori, and V, are you doing the same thing, or where are you?
Yeah, I'm sticking with her. So
Okay.
I think the idea is that if we're having a conversation, we're pretending to have a conversation. If we're facing each other, she could check out one side, and I can check out the other.
Awesome. Okay, so
to
now
keep
is the time that I would like you to act under pressure.
Okay.
Yay.
All right. I'm
All three of us?
No, just V.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
I guess I'm a natural at conversations then.
I try to reduce the amount of the amount of rolls wherever possible when it comes to things like this, but also it's V has a reason to act under pressure right now. I think
Sure.
almost more than anyone else. So I just want to see how V does.
All right. And then I'm adding it.
Plus
Acting
cool.
under pressure is cool, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there is 0 cool.
Okay.
I am not cool.
Okay, so that's
You want me to help out?
Yeah. I mean,
I'll help out.
yeah. You can try and help. So how do you help? How are you helping V keep her cool?
I'm just gonna try and my best to reassure her, and just like have help her with conversations that we usually have, like to keep her focused,
Mhm.
so not to put her in like an uncomfortable situation.
Okay.
I
All right.
love the fact that you're attempting to console V, but like V at a party by herself, completely comfortable. It's the socializing in a romantic setting with you, which is the part that's actually makes her nervous. Like she goes into a party, she can take on a different persona and investigate. She gets all of her gumshoe abilities are all based off of charm. But this is the part that actually is difficult for her, is focusing on the investigation near you, which
Okay.
is I think why she's acting under pressure.
Alright,
So Scarlet, roll to help out if you would. Roll plus cool.
9.
Okay. Your help grants them +1 to the roll, but you also expose yourself to trouble or danger. Okay, so you help V to look completely, cool as a cucumber, calm and collected, as she's sort of hanging out. But I would assume your tattoo sleeve is exposed right now, right? Right? Is that?
Yeah, but it's
People
cool
can see it?
tattoos.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No. That's
Cool
not a problem.
tattoos. She doesn't have any issues with her tattoos. She feels really confident with them. Like she has no
So-
issues with them. Like she's happy to like expose it.
You must tell me. You hear this high voice crossing, sort of cutting the outdoors, in between songs, almost like a knife. Where you got those tattoos, I have always wondered, says Piper as she descends,
Ooh.
deity-like, floating down to almost.
Oh,
She has people
And
helping
your
her down.
tattoos are mystical in origin, correct? Like they're
And,
runic and
yeah, I know a
And
guy.
so she is.
Yeah.
And so she is stepping up to briefly. She's acknowledging you. She sees you, and then she's briefly, coming up to engage you in conversation. And now I'm going to cut over to Ori. As she's, it's Ori. So you're heading out toward the back. And you see there's sort of out past the gate. You see that there are sort of cluster of kids there. They're kind of smoking something. And you see the fellow, tall, skinny fellow, pale skin, and he's got his hand on one of the shoulders, and he's like, "All right, just when you're ready, head out that way. And he's pointing to the woods, and that's where it's really going to kick in for you. You ready? You just start running in just a second. And so that's what you see happening. What would you like to do?
So Ori is going to, in more of an attempt to kind of blend in and play into her, I'm just faking being a teenager thing. She's going to pull out a pack of smokes from another breast pocket and light a cigarette. Despite the fact that she's wearing her mask, she has no mouth. But she's just going to stand there and let it burn, and she's like holding the bottle. And
you see him actually, he's got out he has pulled out and he's ready, and this kid who's been smoking something is like, yeah, I'm ready. And you see that he's pulled out a jet injector. Malachi has got one, and he says, "All right, just let me know when you're ready there." And so is just sort of being there cool? Are you trying to draw attention to yourself, or are you just going to watch what happens?
I am. She's going to just kind of step up.
Mm-hmm.
And be like, this looks like a fun game, yes?
And you see Malachi turns and he looks at you and he's like, "Oh, well, now then. You want to care to join our game? It is a very fun game."
It looks like it, especially when there are unintended consequences. I am a fan of, and she has to search for the word because she's still not used to this, but gambling. But unfortunately, for someone like me, this, it will not work.
Oh, won't it then? He seems to be scrutinizing you.
We're both a long way from home, yes?
Interesting. Huh. So you're wanting to bet on it rather than take a sample, yes?
I try not to bet with people's lives. Not that I would ever accuse you of intentionally murdering your clients, but there have been some unforeseen consequences, perhaps.
Oh, for sure it's not for sure folks know the risk.
Of falling out of the sky from the dream plane?
He just sort of is going to shift again. He's sort of shifting his weight a bit. As you see that he's kind of looking at you uncertainly. And well, so what's it to you?
Just a friendly warning that perhaps business is not good if there is no one left to buy from. Or sell to.
Well, all businesses are something of a temporary venture, don't you think? It's really only what people are buying in the now. You know, what one sells well today ain't going to sell well tomorrow, necessarily. Me, I'm just here to sell this today.
Is that what you tell yourself? Is that what you tell yourself because the griffin livers are a limited supply item?
Who did you say you were again?
You never asked.
Well, perhaps I should ask now. Perhaps an introduction is in order. And he bows, tipping his hat again. Malachi Red, at your service. And who might you be?
You may call me Ori.
Ori. And what's a lovely creature like you doing yourself so far from home? he says, and he smiles, and when he smiles, you see that his teeth are all very sharp.
And she just shrugs and says, trying to learn.
New to these lands in some way, are you?
The land is constantly changing. Are we not all constantly new to new lands?
Quite. Absolutely. That's why you gotta learn to... Always gotta learn to roll. Always gotta learn to roll with the times.
That is true. But, these deaths are somewhat of an inconvenience for people like me, you realize. I am just looking out for my own interests. Surely you understand.
So, you've got a counteroffer of some kind?
That depends what you're in the market for.
He says, and he's just sort of shifting about, and he says, well, let's just say that I've got a rather, shall we say, eager distributor at the moment. Rather eager client, for whom I'm doing my business, and I think it would take quite a lot to match her. But I would be willing to entertain interesting, serious offers.
Well, how about we start with a smaller offer? Information.
And information's a tricky thing, you know. I don't know, you won't be getting all up in my... in my boss's business.
Alternatively, a sample for my information. And you leave this party alone for now.
And now comes the time that I shall ask for you to manipulate someone. You must roll plus charm.
And this is a social interaction, so I think I actually have a -1 to that. There we go. Oof. I am going to use a luck point.
Ah, excellent. Congratulations, you got a 12. Good time to use a luck point.
Yeah.
All right, so on a 10 plus, they'll do it for the reason you gave them. What they want to do is, and if you ask too much, they'll tell you the minimum it would take for them to do it if there's no other way to do it. Okay. So we're going to roleplay this out a little. He seems to be mulling it over. Well, I don't know. This place is pretty good business.
Would it not be better business if your clients could be repeat clients? If I obtain a sample, I know someone who could possibly refine it to avoid the negative side effects.
Well, that is intriguing.
In return, I have some information that may be valuable to you or to your employer.
All right. I can see possibly a good thing to that being a good trade. And he will reach into an inside pocket, where you notice, as he's opening his coat to reach in, that he does have like a bunch of knives in there. but he will reach in and he will pull out a vial. And he'll say, What information have you to trade then?
I am aware of your kind.
And
You
at this
should
point,
know-
you've kind of drifted a little bit away from this cloud of kids because he wants to have this conversation in private. I should have said that. Yeah. So you're a little closer to the trees right now.
Yep.
But yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I am aware of the nature of your existence. There are others like you. The court here in town, and I have it on good authority that I have dispatched someone to look into your activities and report back to them.
Have they now? Well then.
It is inconvenient for me as well as for you when they start acting up outside of their jurisdiction.
Any thought on who I should be on the lookout for?
I do not know. This is not information that I have.
All right. Well, that is valuable. And you've got a way of refining it. I'll take that back to my employer, and we'll see if we can hash that out a bit. That might see what she says. I have a feeling she's going to want me to just keep doing it, but I'll take it to her. Because it is intriguing, especially if we can get a long-term thing going. And he will say, "You got a phone?"
I do.
And do you hand him your phone?
I will hand it to him.
Okay. He puts his number in your phone.
Okay.
And he will hand it to you along with the vial.
I will take both of them and put them in a pocket.
Says, then. A pleasure doing business with you, Miss Ari.
A pleasure as well.
I look forward to hearing from you soon.
I will contact you as soon as I know anything.
Very good. But I gotta warn you. I'll have had a chat with my client again, with my employer again by tomorrow night. And, got to make sure that right now this window of opportunity does not close, but it might by then. Just so you'll know.
Of course.
Things are going down tomorrow at midnight.
I will keep that in mind.
And he will nod, he will tip his hat, and he will shrug his, he will shrug, he says, well then, guess I'm off to find me another bit of distraction. And he turns, and he walks into the woods.
Okay.
And I think that is where we are going to bookmark it for the night, as we have you have successfully managed to you have successfully managed to negotiate with this creature. And avoided fighting him.
I mean, I was very tempted just to pull out my sword.
Yeah, you totally
slash
could
the
have.
hand, but I don't know. I think that this could prove to be entertaining.
Very cool, very interesting.
Figure out what the GM wanted to do and then do the opposite.
I'm fine.
It always gets everything riled up, and it's
So-
great.
We forgot to do this last time. There's an end of session move.
Oh.
So we go down and we answer these questions. And I am prepared to offer double value for these, given that we didn't do it last time.
cool.
So
Ooh.
ordinarily, ordinarily it's there's an economy to it. Ordinarily, it's if you get 1 or 2, then you get 1 XP. If you get 3 or 4, then you mark 2 XP. But I'm gonna just give 1 per yes on this. So the first question of these 4 questions is: did we conclude the current mystery? I'm pretty sure the answer to that is no. Did we
definitely.
Did we save someone from certain death or worse?
I say yes, because those kids were about to take that drug and they're about to float away.
Yeah.
Are we agreed on that?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
1 XP for that.
Drugs are bad.
Drugs are in fact bad.
Wait, did I
Um,
still get like 2 XP from did I get extra XP from rolling that 6 or no?
Yeah, you got XP for roll. For, anytime you fail to roll, you got XP for it.
Okay.
Even if
Um,
you use a
Well,
luck
if you got
point.
if you get no, not if you use luck point. You only luck point takes it away. as does help. Help takes that
Just
away
wondering
too.
because
It changes the result.
then Ori helped me out, so that brought me up to an 8.
Yeah.
Would that still be considered me getting experience point or no?
No, that would be no. That you would not get XP for that because that changed what your result was. Did we learn something new and important about the world?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 XP for that.
Okay.
Nice.
Did we learn something new and important about one of the hunters?
Oh yeah. Whoa. Bowling for 1.
Oh yeah, we learned why Sully doesn't like bowling.
We did learn that, yes.
And are we doing it with this game or are we doing it with both
I'm
sessions?
Yeah, I'm saying I'm this can be over the last 2 sessions, but I'm gonna
Okay.
give. That's why I'm giving 1 XP per yes this time because we didn't do
Yeah.
it last time. So yes, okay, so that's gonna be a total of 3 XP.
Nice.
Cool.
Okay.
I'm 1 step closer to level. I'm like 1 XP away from
So
level right
close, just 1 failure
go.
away.
We fail
So
next
close.
time.
Yay.
All
and then I
right.
can get an improvement.
So next week we shall have our. I can't believe we burned through this so quickly because next week we have our finale,
Nice.
as we shall see if this comes to a conclusion.
Oh boy.
It's too soon.
We're very close, very close.
What could have
indeed.
happened at the party, which would have been interesting.
Oh boy, it would have.
I was wondering if you were going to fight him because I had his stats ready, but turned out you actually managed to negotiate, so that was very cool.
And the thing is, I've got a play that I can do as soon as I actually witness the monster of the week in action. Have not done that.
That's true. The other thing also I should probably reveal, that I'll go ahead and reveal, as he sort of hinted, he's not the monster.
Right.
Yeah, he definitely hinted it.
All right, so this is going to be very cool. We're going to go ahead and go around and do our outros. Folks can feel free once again to say where they can find you, and any thoughts you had about this session, favorite moments, anything like that. And we are going to start with Drew.
I'm going to go with favorite moments. I like the further investigation of her investigative abilities, and I like the use of bringing in NPCs. So the Naked City playbook function that I have contacts. It's nice to be able to actually use that because so much of this is bringing in someone who isn't a part, which allows us to create and build our world around us. So I'm pretty stoked about that. And also it's just fun playing awkward. So that's good. So if you want to find me on Twitter, I am at Drew M. Meyer, Meyer. I've got a podcast called Who and Company, and we'll have a new episode out next week if you like Doctor Who.
Yes, as all right-thinking people do. It's excellent, awesome. And now we shall move over to Gillian.
That's me. Hi. That was actually really cool. Like, with me just like emitting everything that's been going on, just everything, and me just like trying to cheer on Sully with the bullets. He's like, "You can do it," and I think my favorite moment is like me just like noticing Sully's face. He's like, "Oh shit, go Sully, get out!" As we go. But anyways, guys, you can follow me on my Twitter at GFreakingNext, and you can also follow me on my Twitch at GFreaking1. But we're currently taking a break on my on a different channel where I'm here there on Saturdays, which is twitch.tv/CapricornCross. Also, this is ending soon, but during the month of April, I'm currently fundraising since the month of April is Autism Acceptance Month. I am raising money for the Autism Self-Advocacy Network, which I'm currently at, I think, $250 raised right now. If you guys want to share what's going on, go ahead. If you want to donate yourselves, it's really appreciated. And that's it for me.
Awesome. Very cool. Let us go ahead and go on then to Lance.
Oh man, for my post-game thoughts, just the whole bowling section of this session, man, it was Sully came close to another incident, but it was fun role playing through the whole thing. Bit of development for Sully, a little bit of backstory extra for Sully, so I'm pretty happy all around with that. And just anytime these characters interact, I love. So that's all pretty great. You can find me on Twitter at LTALIG. That's at LTALIG. Tweet sometimes. I mostly retweet things and like them, but you can find me there if you want to contact me or anything like that.
Awesome, excellent. I loved what we got to see from Sully this time. This was really cool. And we will move on now to Autumn.
Hey, yeah, so post-game thoughts. It was really fun trying to walk the very thin edge of a knife, trying to make a deal, but not making a deal with a Fae or Fae-adjacent creature. But that was super fun, and just playing like a different side of Ori. But yeah, as for me, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Taurus Donuts. You can find me on my Twitch channel playing some RPGs right now. It's Divinity Original Sin 2 and Dragon Age Inquisition that we're going to be starting up again over at twitch.tv/Senkabe. You can find all my D&D stuff over at the Misfit Adventurers. And actually today we just launched a module that I was lucky enough to be do some additional design, writing, and editing on. It is over at store.magehandpress.com, and it is all of the proceeds from it are going towards supporting Feeding America. So it's super fun. It's a lighthearted adventure to give all of us some agency in a insane world right now.
Absolutely. Awesome. That's wonderful. And finally, we're going to go over to Wally.
Hey there, I'm Wally. You can find me on the Twitters at Wally132. I definitely think, so this is kind of like a personal love why I really love playing Ozzy so much is because I've always been obsessed with like stuff like mad scientists and stuff in like gigantic super laboratories. Like Dexter's Laboratory was like one of my favorite shows as a kid. So being able to play a character that's basically that can do that kind of stuff in this is so great. I think it's like, I just really like having Ozzy to use an excuse to do like super science in this. I just love any excuse that I get to have him do it, and I get just to make up nonsensical science terms off the top of my head. And it's like, yeah, that's it. They don't know it, but you know, he knows it. But yeah, I think definitely like I really like just Ozzy interacting with this world in through his own eyes of how he like views everything through, like, even though yeah it's magic, but it's like nope, it's science. I just really like his interactions with everyone when it comes to that kind of stuff. And yes, Ori's definite will she or won't she stab a guy was pretty great too.
Excellent. And I think, did we already do your contacts?
Oh yeah, I already did my contacts. I'm on Twitter at Wally132, and I'm also here on the same channel for the Wednesday Night Max games. You also find me there.
Awesome. All right, well, once again, I'm Jim Ryan. I had a lot of fun with this session, and I cannot wait to get to the next one and just sort of see how this whole thing concludes. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and some of my fiction and games I've been working on, along with links to game signups and applications to join our Discord. On Wednesday nights on this channel, we're trying to get back to our Masks campaign, run by Mole Thulu. We've had some real life stuff going on, so we're it's a little tentative. We're seeing how that's gonna be dealt with, but we're confident it's gonna be coming back very soon. So hopefully tomorrow, but if not, then probably very soon. So we're looking to that. Thursday nights, we have a short campaign of The Sprawl that started up. It's powered by the Apocalypse game, cyberpunk game, run by guest GM Brian. I can't wait to dig into that. We just made our characters, and it's already glorious. On Saturday nights, I run Invisible Sun here in a campaign called The Edge of Paradox. Folks are on a train heading south, and we'll see. There are people on the train that they don't like very much, and we'll have to see how they deal with them. On Sundays, we do one-shots in the afternoons. The one-shot we're going to be doing this Sunday is Futurity, a game written by Summer from Off the Table. We were going to do it a couple weekends ago, but unfortunately I was sick, so we couldn't do it. So we're going to take another swing at it for this Sunday. Then Sunday nights we have our regular Dark Matter campaign, Ghosts of Saltmaw. That's Ghosts of Saltmarsh in Space, run by our guest GM Alyssa, who does it wonderfully. Then Monday night, I am going to is the premiere of a game I'm going to be in over on Salty Sweet Games, that channel. We are going to be playing D&D 5e. It is going to be, the name of the campaign is Strange Invasion: Assault on the Barrier Peaks. So we are doing the Barrier Peaks. Never actually got a chance to do that. I've heard so much about it over the years, but finally going to get to actually playing it. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And then back around to Tuesday afternoons, we are still we're getting inexorably closer to the end of our short campaign of Las Vegas, which is once again sort of a round robin GMing type game, different dealers every act as we go through this strange amnesiac version of Vegas that we've been dealing with. I am going to be back in the dealer's chair for Act 4 to finish it out. So there will be much happening. And then, of course, back around to Tuesday evening, 1 week from tonight, more of this! We will come back, and our saga will conclude, one way or another. We'll see what happens. I cannot wait. Right now, for anyone who's wondering, sign-ups are open for next month's mini-campaign that I'm going to be running, which is going to be Call of Cthulhu. I'm going to take a stab at it. I've never actually run Cthulhu itself. I've run Tremulous, I've run Trail of Cthulhu, never run Call of Cthulhu, but we'll give it a shot. And also soon I'm probably going to be opening up sign-ups for a one-shot of Seco Creek Vigilance Committee, which I think is a Western game about hunting down an outlaw. I'm going to go check that. I'm going to read through it some more, but hopefully I'll be opening sign-ups for that soon. If anyone wants to sign up for anything, you just go down and click on RPG sign-up, or go to jimyesthatjim.com and click on Game Sign-up. As always, beginners are welcome. So, when we hit the end card, what shall we do? I shall send a raid. Oh, they just stopped. Okay. So in that case, I am going to send a raid. Let's send a raid over to Raven. Let's see. That's one of the newer channels that I've been following. I'll send a raid over to them. They are doing a thing called Hunters of Calamity. It says. I do not know what game it is, but the category is D&D, so it might be D&D. We're going to go over there and say hi to them. Feel free, if you are so inclined, to hang on and say hi to them with us. That, again, will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will see you next week. farewell.